one of the things that we don't really put much emphasis on, and I think it's one of the most important things in anyone's journey, is having the right people around you. That famous saying, you know, if you're chilling with four bums, you're going to be the fifth one.
Like even being able to phone Yianny, like I can ring Yianny now and say, bro, I'm thinking about this, what do you think? He'll give me advice, and he'll give me genuine advice.
So, you know, before Yianny, has there been any sort of high profile clients that you've been dealing with?
We did a few here and there, like we did some Aston Villa footballers, etc., stuff like that. Yianny kind of took us to another level. Yianny kind of introduced and opened doors for us, to be fair. You just got to be consistent, don't give up. Like everybody wants to get rich overnight, it doesn't work that way. You got to be consistent, you got to grind. Like you talk to a lot of successful people, they've failed at so many different things in life, but it hasn't stopped them. They've continued, they've kept that motivation, they kept going. There's bumps in the road constantly all the time. Like, I have bumps in the road all the time.
What's going on, brother? How are we?
I'm all good, my brother. How are you? You okay?
Alhamdulillah. Thanks again for jumping on the podcast, bro.
Jazakallah, like I said to you, I'm blessed for you to even invite me to come down, so I can't thank you enough, to be fair.
It's going to be an interesting one. I got that feeling about this one.
Inshallah,
it'll be an interesting one. No pressure.
No pressure. Cool, calm and collective, that's how it works.
Right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. Now, sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to ask you guys for a small favour. Now, at the moment, we're sitting just over 14,000 subscribers, and that's amazing. And that's all thanks to you guys, and I really appreciate it. One of my goals is to grow this podcast. I know it's got so much potential, and I'm going to really push to grow this podcast now. And the small favour that I wanted to ask you guys, if you could hit the subscribe button, this is going to really help me. It's going to help the channel grow. The bigger the channel gets, the more amazing guests I can get onto the channel and produce more amazing episodes for you guys to watch and enjoy. If you could hit that subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. But anyway, yeah, back to the podcast. Let's just get straight into it. So I was introduced to you online.
Yeah.
You came across through the Yianny channel.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's how a lot of people know you as well. Yeah. So before we kind of get into that, what is it that you do? Because I know you've got a fireplace.
Yeah.
You've got a showroom in Bearwood.
Correct. Yeah.
In Birmingham.
Yeah.
So talk us a little bit what that's about.
So basically, we do luxury fireplaces.
Okay.
So we've been doing luxury fireplaces. Well, my family's been doing it for about 25 years. I came into it about 18 years ago. We've got 4 showrooms in Birmingham. I manage and run one of the showrooms, which is in Bearwood.
So
I've been doing that for the past 17 years or so. And then we've also just started to delve into other things now. We've always done a bit of property, etc., stuff like that. But at the same time, we've opened a Mother Hubbard's franchise.
Oh, is it?
Fish and chip shop, yeah.
Which one?
It's in Erdington.
Oh, the one that's your guys, yeah. Fair play.
So we opened that just over a year ago now. So we'd like to try different things. But fireplaces is my game. That's what I do. That's what
Okay. Okay, that's interesting. So it's a family business then?
Family business. Like I said, it's me, my brothers. We're very close as a family unit. Like we're very, very close.
Yeah.
So I would say there's like I'm one of 3 brothers, but my uncle's sons, they're 3 brothers also. So like we're very tight. Like there's 6 of us. So we all work together. We all do business together. We all do investments together. We all just like we're together. We're really tight. Like we don't consider cousins and stuff. But like we're brothers. We're very, very tight.
That's actually quite mad, you know, because a lot of people say you shouldn't get into business with family for a start.
Yeah.
I'm sure that comes with its own struggles. I don't know if you've probably experienced these struggles, but we'll get into it.
Yeah, alhamdulillah, I've been blessed in that sense. Like a lot of people do talk about family and like getting involved with family, etc., and stuff like that. It can get quite messy sometimes. Yeah. But alhamdulillah, we're blessed. We're blessed in that sense.
Because you know, in the South Asian community, you know, family politics. I'm sure every sort of everyone has it, but I'm definitely interested in that because, you know, I've been in business, not with family, but with friends. Yeah. It's not gone the way that I'd hoped it'd go. And I understand the struggles of going into business and stuff like that. So was it always a plan of going into the family business?
No. So I studied, I went to university, I got a marketing degree, and I was going to go into marketing, so that was my thing. I love marketing, etc., which is basically helped me now, to be fair, as well. But generally I was going to do marketing. I had a job lined up, I was going to go do it. I finished university and I was like, I'm going to take a year out, I'm just going to chill out for a bit and just like see where it goes from there, and then I was going to start this new job the year after. My brother had this showroom in Bearwood right now that I run, and he was like, come and help me out for a couple of days a week, and I was like, yeah, cool, I'm free 7 days a week, so I'll come and help you out. So I started there like 1 day, 2 days, and then to 3 days, to 4 days, to 5 days, and then he had another opportunity to take on another showroom at that time, and he's like, what do you want to do with this? Either we close this down because that was a bigger premises and we move over there, or we keep this, but you're gonna have to run it if you want it. So I thought about it, and I was like, it was coming close to the time when I was going to take that job, and I was like, you know what, I actually enjoy it, because I spent a year there now. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed like meeting people, talking to people, different walks of life, interacting and all that kind of stuff. I've always been good at that. So I was like, yeah, you know what, I'll take the showroom on. So I took that showroom on full time, started running it, and just took it to where it is right now.
So you got 4 showrooms in Birmingham.
4 showrooms.
Is this like the biggest one then, or?
This is actually probably the second or third largest. 2 of the other showrooms are probably larger. This showroom here, we specialise in media walls. So there's quite a big trend right now, being sold for the last 2 years since COVID kind of kicked in, to be fair, after that. Media walls where you got the fire with the TV above it and all that kind of storage.
I know, it's nice, I've seen them, yeah.
So that's really popular. So that's what we specialise here. So all the stores kind of specialise in something. So like we got a branch in Kings Heath, and that specialises in more stoves, like solid fuel appliances and stuff like that. So it's kind of, every area has its own kind of forte. So mine's is kind of the media wall side of stuff, really.
Okay, and I'm sure your family's loving you now since the whole sort of blow up on social media. Thinking, marketing genius.
It's nice, because to be fair, like I remember somebody saying once before, like, oh, we didn't hear about you until we heard it from Yianny, right?
Okay.
So, but we've been doing it for like years prior to that, 20 years prior to that. So we've been very established for a very long time. But social media, the way it's gone, and the way marketing is changed over the years. So for example, you had newspaper advertising before, magazines, etc., Google AdWords, which still works, but then Instagram and TikTok and all this stuff start coming into play. So we've had to adapt and change to what we do, just like any other business, to be fair. So hence the reason we kind of approached the social media side of stuff a little bit more than what we used to, and then things just fell into place.
So what was the business like before the whole blow up on social media?
So it's always been a good business. Like I says, we've always been established for a very long time. So being situated in 4 different showrooms over Birmingham, we had kind of Birmingham completely locked off when it comes to that.
Yeah, you're business. Like the top G's.
So yeah. But like we had the mass area covered. So anybody in Birmingham area that's looking for fireplaces, generally we had it covered. So we covered quite a large area. The industry, we were classified as probably the biggest fireplace retailers in UK prior to even getting on social media and stuff like that, because we had so many showrooms and we had a lot of presence. But since the social media side of stuff, we've been able to go nationwide. So prior to that, it was all locally based. So people would come in from like a 10-mile radius, etc. Now I'm working in Manchester, London, further down south, further up north. We've done stuff in Glasgow. So we've gone nationwide, basically. That's what's happened with social media. It's allowed us to get bigger and do more nationally than ever previously before.
No, it seems like an interesting business, because I've not really come across any major fireplace businesses.
Yeah, it's a very niche business.
Yeah, very niche.
It's kind of very privately owned, so you won't see like big stores, because it's a very complicated business. It's not easy. There's a lot of things to take into consideration when it comes to it. For example, if you're working with gas fires or solid fuel appliances, so many regulations, so many requirements and stuff like that, where big stores will struggle to do that. So it's a very specialist industry, but it's a small industry at the same time. So for example, if you look at sofas, you've got DFS, you've got so many different places, right? But when you look at fireplaces, you don't have big stores. It's all independently.
So who are your competitors, generally speaking?
Just local, just general.
Are there any main big sort of corporate companies that
There isn't. It's all independently owned stuff. It's all people like ourselves that are running showrooms. It's a very old business, so what you generally find is a lot of people, say for example, the fathers had the business before, pass it down to the kids, etc., stuff like that. So you find that, which is where we've been able to capitalize in the sense of what we're doing on social media, because it's very old school people in a very old industry.
I get it.
So like even before it all started with the social media side of stuff, and before even say Yianny and all that kind of stuff, right? I had this thing, I was sat there, I remember one day, and I was thinking to myself, why is that business so boring, right? Nobody considers fireplaces to be kind of like exciting or anything like
a cool
that.
Thing.
Yeah, it's just kind of like it serves a purpose. We need heat, we buy fire. but not much thought went into it. It's like kind of more thought was going into other home renovation stuff like kitchens or bathrooms and things like that. And then I was like, we need to make it a bit more exciting. So hence I started doing more kind of visual stuff, videography, getting like professional videos done, just to showcase what we can actually do.
Do you reckon that came from your marketing background?
Yeah, I think like, because I remember sitting there and I remember getting like, I was a bit bored with the whole thing, and I was like, you know what, this, like, why does every industry have like an exciting element to it, right? Why can't I transfer that to my business? So for example, like we take cars, right? So I love cars.
Yeah.
So if you look at cars, like some people would turn around and say cars are very easy to kind of promote because you just show a nice car, right?
You just show a nice car,
and you got millions.
You got an audience
interested
there
in
straight
it,
away,
right? So fireplaces, not so much, right? Some people will be listening like, oh, fireplace is a bit boring, right? But so I kind of use that format and says, okay, why not make it a bit more exciting? Like I remember when the videographer first made a video for me, he made a video and he put like this music on it. It was very like elevator type music, and I was like, why do I need to use elevator music? Like, why does it have to be like that? Why can't I use what's trending right now? Why do I have to use sounds like that? Let me use something that trends. So we started putting trending music on top of videos, make it a bit more exciting, and it just started to popping off, to be fair. So it worked, and how I feel as though a whole industry's changed now since we started doing that. Like everybody started stepping up.
I get it.
So you'll see more now, slowly, more professional videos from other retailers kind of coming out and stuff like that.
It reminds me of you know, Mr. T, the ice cream.
Yeah.
You know how he's got like an old school business and he's kind of revolutionized the whole industry, and he's took it from here to here, and I think that's what you've done with your industry.
We've tried,
kind of leveled it up, and other people are looking at you guys and thinking, oh, okay, that's what we need to start implementing.
It's funny actually say that, because one of the guys today in the showroom was like, oh, Shaan, check this video out from somebody else, check this video out from somebody else, check this video out. It goes, they're all copying what you're doing.
You've set in the blueprint.
You're right. So, and I was like, you know what, I'll take that as a compliment, right? So like, I don't look at competition as a competition. Like, competition will always exist in whatever you do, okay?
You're right.
It's healthy. It elevates you, makes you work harder, make you do better, instead of just kind of getting complacent and sitting in one place. If you've got competition, it's gonna make you, it's either make you or break you, right? So it's either gonna say, Shaan, you need to step up because everybody else is stepping up, or you stay where you are and then everybody else gets ahead of you. So competition is very important. I generally think across any type of business, it elevates you if you look at it in the right manner and the right perspective, to be fair. So it's a compliment where other people have started to do what we're doing. So it's obviously working. It's making people, bringing people.
So you know,
attention.
before Yianny, has there been any sort of high profile clients that you've been dealing with, or was kind of...
We did a few here and there, like we did some Aston Villa footballers, etc., stuff like that, and again, it was all very locally based. So we kind of serviced those clients. Yianny kind of took us to another level. Yianny kind of introduced and opened doors for us, to be fair.
I think that's because he's obviously got a massive social presence on social media.
100%, yeah.
He's got a massive audience. But he's got
a very loyal audience.
Okay.
Like I've dealt with a lot of like high profile clients now. Alhamdulillah, blessed in that way. But I've seen like what different people can do for you in different ways. Like Yianny is one of them kind of guys. Like he's kind of, when he recommends something, people listen. Like his followers listen. Like I remember the first time he shouted me out. Like within a day, I got like 2,000 followers on Instagram. Like within.
Well, just from like a shout out.
From a good, like he did a proper shout out for me.
Yeah.
But he did like a proper shout out for me. He did a post and put it up. It's like I remember my battery died on my phone because I was just getting all these notifications coming through. Boom, 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 boom. I've got a video on my phone. Like it's just like follow. And it's like what's going on? I woke up in the morning. Like what's going on here? Yeah, so he's got very loyal followers. So like we've done loads of reality stars, this, that. They'll shout us out. You get like 20 followers or something like that. And they might have 1 million, 2 million following for themselves. And then you think, so how does that work out, right?
You think that, you know, someone that with that many followers would be able to bring you in a lot.
Yeah.
But it's down to sort of, as you said, loyal engagement and
stuff like that, right? So which is something I've learned through this whole process. You know, there's certain people that will have a more impactful response from their followers, depending on how they put it out there. Like I was having this convo with Yianny the other day, to be fair, and I was like, you know, the reality of it is like, I remember he said, "Oh, how do you think?" He goes, "Why do you think it worked?" or something like that, in regards something along those lines. Don't want to quote him incorrectly. And I was like, "It's because it's you." when I had clients coming through to the door after watching that Yianny video, they were like, if it was good enough for Yianny and Yianny used you, you must be good enough. You must be good enough for me, basically, is what they were trying to say. And they had the confidence to make that purchase because he kind of gave his stamp of approval. So like some people will have more impact than others. I've dealt with all types of clients now, from ranging from footballers to musicians to athletes to actors to radio presenters, bodybuilders, all sorts of different walks of life. And then some people will have much more impact than other people in regards to kind of getting you that engagement.
Yeah, I think you're right, because especially with so much content online now, trust is a big thing.
Yeah.
And I think with Yianny, because he's so engaging and he's so transparent with sort of, because I know he's done his own house renovations and he was shouting at people that he was using then. Yeah. Same with kind of DMO DJ. A lot of people that he ends up using, like the companies that he ends up using, he shouts them out.
Yeah.
And people again will be like, if they're good enough for him, they must be good. They must know what they're doing.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what it's all about, to be fair. Like I says, and I think people see when it's genuine.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Like people will be able to see that, like, this is a genuine shout out from somebody. Like it's not staged. It's not just
like an advert. Yeah.
You know, it's done properly. I remember, like, even talking to Yianny, like Yianny gets deals all the time, bro.
Yeah,
like
imagine,
he'll get massive deals. Like I won't go into it and stuff, but you get stories like, but he'll turn stuff down because he just doesn't believe in it, or it's not what he does, or it's not his thing. Like he'll turn it down. Do you know what I mean? Like he's told me stories like that. And I don't want to say figures, but like some big numbers. Like, but it shows his character. Do you get what I mean? Like if he don't believe in it, he's not gonna do it. He's not just doing it for the money. Do you know what I mean? He's blessed in that way. He's got plenty of it. But it's the case of, like, he does what he believes in. Like I got a lot of respect for that brother, trust me. Like he is, like, again, I've met a lot of people on social media, etc. And you see two sides to people. With him, how he presents himself on Instagram, YouTube, etc. That's him. Like,
okay.
He's genuinely.
So there's not
that.
like an online persona.
There's not an online persona. That is him. Like you talk to him off camera, he's exactly the same. On camera, he's exactly the same. He's very transparent, which is what I like about him. But then I've met other people that are a certain way online, and then you talk to them offline, and it's like, you're completely different. Like,
let's throw some names in. No, I'm joking. Yeah.
Call some people out. Yeah. Call some controversy.
Get some controversy. Get the views coming in. No, but I get what you're saying. To be fair, everyone that I've met, even through the podcast, has pretty much come across very genuine, very nice people. You will get the odd characters here and there, which
you will. Yeah. Like there's like big names like I could put out there and say to you, like they're not like. It's like I said, it's not in a bad way, but it's the way they deal with you. In like I said, I'm not going to say anybody's bad or anybody's good.
Yeah.
It's just how they deal with you, and how they come across. It's
different approaches.
Different. Yeah. Like I said, when we're talking about Yianny, like, he's a very genuine person. You get what I mean? Like, he is what he is. So like that's why I say I have a lot of respect for him. And there's a lot like Reece Nelson, Arsenal footballer, like nice guy, like a nice guy. Very down to earth. Like, he's an Arsenal footballer, but like I've sat and chatted with him for hours. Do you know what I mean? Just about normal stuff like you would with your boys. Have a normal chat about this. Shaan, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Like, we just have normal convos and just very down to earth people.
Is it like refreshing to see, like, when you come in across like these high profile people, and because obviously we always have this perception of these like high profile people, especially like these celebrities and whatnot, a lot of money in their accounts and whatnot, and you just think that they're going to be arrogant or selfish, or they'll look down on you. And then when you come across them and they're so like you, basically.
Yeah, it is very refreshing, 100%. Yeah, it's kind of like, because if you haven't had that much interaction with high profile people as such, like you gain perceptions of them, right? Like, they might be like this, they might be like that. Yeah. But when you sit down and, like he says, if you talk to people and they're just like down to earth people, it is nice, because it's like and like I was talking to Reece and saying, like, if the kids out there got to know you and how you are, like, it'd give them a boost, because like he's just a normal guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, anybody could do what he's doing if they put that determination, that effort, and what they did into something, they could achieve whatever they wanted in life.
I like that.
So it's kind of like, it's refreshing to see that we're for example, they come from similar backgrounds to what I may have come from, and you think, yeah, you know what, this person's got to such a level just by working hard, grafting, whatever field they may be in, if they're a sportsman, if they're influencer, if they you know, whatever they do in life, whatever business they're doing, you know, they can get to certain levels as long as that determination, efforts put into something.
Yeah, I remember realizing, thinking like, you know, these people, they're not like geniuses. They're just like me and you.
Yeah.
And all they've done is they've worked hard, they've been consistent, they've
100%.
persevered through the hard times, and that's it.
100%. Like I always say, consistency is like the key, one of the major keys to being successful. Like you got to be consistent in what you do. Like I'll give a gym as an example. You go to gym, you got to be consistent. You can't just go gym one day and think, yeah, I'm going to walk out with a six pack. It's not going to happen, right? So
unfortunately not. No.
if it was, everybody would have one.
But that's the thing.
So it's the case of like, you got to be consistent. Put that time, effort into something to be able to get the benefits out of it. So if you kind of put that mindset to whatever it is that you do, virtually, I would say anything is possible. That sounds very cliche, like anything's possible, but it is to a certain degree,
I believe
right?
that as well. Yeah.
But you gotta put consistency into it, and that's why, like, whenever I talk to you kind of younger people out there, I say, look, you just gotta be consistent. Don't give up. Like, everybody wants to get rich overnight. It doesn't work that way. You gotta be consistent. You gotta grind. Like, you talk to a lot of successful people. They've failed at so many different things in life, but it hasn't stopped them. They've continued. They've kept that motivation. They kept going. There's bumps in the road constantly all the time. Like, I have bumps in the road all the time. Like, you know, I ain't even that successful when it comes to a lot of people out here, but like, you see people, and then when you get to know people as well, like being in the circle that I'm in right now and know the people that I know, you understand, like, you know, it wasn't easy for them either. They're at that level now, but they weren't always at that level, and it's been a journey to get there. But they've been consistent in what they've done, and they've not given up, and they've carried on.
Well, this is what I want to showcase to people as well, is regardless of how successful you are or how successful you may appear to be online, there's always been hard times. No matter what, no matter how big you are, no matter even if you've been brought into wealth and you've taken it to a different level, there's always been some sort of struggles along the way.
100%,
because it's easy, especially nowadays, and I'm probably speaking to a lot of the younger audience now, where they've been brought up into a world of like social media, and you know, we all know it, where a lot of people now compare themselves to other people. Now, if you're seeing people online with certain cars or certain type of lifestyle, and just think, and because they haven't got that, it'll put them under, it'll put them into depression. What they don't realize is that they also have bad days. They've also been through the struggles. They've also been in the trenches, but they've persevered to
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
Like one example I use of people like is the Farmhouse boys. So Sonny and Vic, big shout out to them boys as well, to be fair. They're very nice people, like very nice brothers. Like Sonny's like his family to me, to be fair. Vic, exactly the same.
You do a lot of work with them, innit?
Yeah, a lot of work with them. Very nice. Their family, they're too nice, bro. Like, they're nice people. And like I remember talking to Vic, and I was like, you know, people have this perception of Vic, like he's a certain way, he's a certain person. That guy is a lovely brother. Like, he's a nice guy. He's a genuinely nice guy. Sonny is an amazing personality. Like, he's a beautiful soul. Like, he's a very loyal guy. Like, Sonny is loyal to the bone. Like if he's your guy, he's your guy. And that's what, like he's giving me loads of work. Like, he's giving me work in his place, his houses, his restaurants, but he's put me in connect with a lot of different people. And I won't mention any names. Like, there's some high profile people that he's put me in connections with, just purely out of love. There's nothing for him, but I use them as an example. I'll tell you why I use them as an example, because people see them on social media, right? They got G-Wagons, Lambos, Ferraris, and so forth, and a beautiful place, they graft, bro. Like, Sonny works hard. Like, he's working every day. But Sonny's kind of like, he gets involved with a lot of stuff, like renovation side of stuff. Like, he'll get like hands-on, do you know what I mean? Like, when he was in any part of the showroom, restaurant, that he's been doing up, like, he'll get there for like 8, 9 in the morning, and he's there with the builders throughout the day. Then the restaurant will open. Then he's at the restaurant till 11 o'clock. That closes. Then the shisha lounges, or the shisha lounge carries on from there. Then he says the shisha. Then he goes home, goes to sleep, gets up, and does it all again. And I remember talking one time, and he hadn't had a day off in like 4 months, like working every day. Like, it ain't easy, but people will just see the cars and Do you know what I mean? The
Yeah,
design of clothes and so forth and so forth, and you know, but they don't see the effort that's gone into it.
But
So
you're
that's
right.
why I have to respect them. Like, you know, people like that, I have utmost respect for, because I can see that they put the graft into things, they persevere, they stay consistent. Yes, they reap the benefits as well, which they have, but they're very nice, humble people, which a lot of people don't really tend to realize.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think people don't really acknowledge, because, like, for example, even what he posts online, he's always at the restaurant.
Yeah.
Vic, for example, he's always at the
They're
restaurant.
always working, bro.
Yeah, always working.
Always working.
And I know it seems to me like sometimes they don't even need to be, but I think they just enjoy it so much.
They enjoy it, but you know, it's for a business like that to run, and I understand this. Like, you got to stay connected. Like, for example, I remember once I went through the kitchen with Sonny, and Sonny stopped, and somebody setting up a plate, and he's like, "Oh, there's too many pomegranate on that plate. Like, why have you put so much
They're
on there?"
perfectionists.
Do you get what I mean? Like, he's keeping an eye on it. Now, if he's not there and he's not looking at stuff like that, next time it might be more.
Quality slips.
He ended up, I remember it was funny actually, because it's not a fruit salad. But he's got his eye on the ball, do you get what I mean? And they both have. So that's why that business is so successful. It's because of them. If they're not there, yes, they've got a good team, 100%. They've got a brilliant team. Like, some of the guys there, they're brilliant. Like, they've got a really good team and very loyal team as well. But that business runs on them. So they have to be there, in my opinion, to be fair, to take it to where they've taken it to.
Yeah.
If they weren't there for that journey, or they were kind of like, yeah, we'll go in and we'll pop in and see what's going on.
Is it like inspiring to have these people around you? Like,
100%, yeah. So all these people, like I said, farmers, but like Sonny, like, amazing person. I can't speak highly enough of him, to be fair. Very, very nice guy. But there's loads of people, like I think Tony from Floor Street.
Tony from Floor Street, yeah, we've actually
so Tony, you've had
him on the podcast, yeah.
What do you think of him? Let me ask you.
I think, and this is not a dig at anyone else, but that podcast that I done with him was probably one of my favourites. It's up there because he's such a down-to-earth guy,
100%.
And he's a grafter. Like, hearing his story when he's coming, he's basically a guy that's come from nothing. And it's just been pure sort of grafting, hustling. And listening to his story actually inspired me. It made me think, you know what, like, all it is just pure graft. A bit of creativity here and there.
Exactly.
Like, he's been on the hustle.
He's a grafter, and to be fair, like, that's the kind of people I got around me, right? So Tony's a very close friend of mine, very, very close friend of mine. Like, he looks at me as an older brother and stuff. So he comes to me like, "Oh, Shaan, advice, this, that, and I'm like, I need to get advice." Yeah. Right, and he's like, "No, you're older than me. You're my big brother. Tell me this, tell me that." But like, and I said it to him. I said, "Oh, you're very inspiring. Like, I like being around people like you because it inspires me. From what you've done to what you've been able to achieve, to where you've got to, it is very inspiring." Like, we was talking the other day, and it was like, we were just chatting stuff, and I was like, I remember telling him a story, like, when I was in school, and I remember going to the markets with my dad, and I bought a Walkman, right, back in the day, right? Walkmans.
Blast from the past days.
Slimline Walkman. Tell me who knows about them. So I remember buying one of them, and it was broken up, and I fixed it up, and I put the new screws in it, fixed it all up, took it to school, and sold it. And I think I bought it for like £5 or £10. I sold it for £20-25. Then I went back the next week and bought 2 more. Then I sold 4. Then I sold 10. And then I got CDs and then MP3s. And I was just basically selling stuff in school like that. And then I remember Parker pens. I don't know if anybody remembers Parker's pens, right? Parker pens, so I was that guy. I used to have my blazer. I opened up my blazer. I had 10 Parker pens here, 10 Parker pens here. And I'm selling Parker pens. Basically, I was just on a hustle. I was always been like that. So I remember telling him that story. He's like, "Yeah, Shaan, I can relate to you. That's how I was. I always try to do something." And So we're very similar characters in that way. But like I said, that's the kind of people. Like, big shout out to Tony. I love him. He's my brother. Like, he always says that I inspire him, but I have to say,
how important do you think that is? Like, having the right people around you.
1,000,000%. Because like, it's probably, if you want to be successful in life, you got to have the right people around you. Because they will inspire you, they will push you. You can turn to them for advice whenever you want. And it, like, I remember my dad always used to say, like, growing up, you are gonna be who your friends are, right? So for example, if you're chilling around, like, I understand people's struggles, right? So I understand lifestyles and people's choices and what they've had to do in life. I've been exposed to that growing up. With my friends, etc., and like different ways life can take you, right? But like, if you're chilling with doctors or professional people, you're gonna enter a professional field most likely. or something along those lines, right? If you're chilling with people that are just sitting at home playing on the PlayStation, you're going to just sit at home playing on the PlayStation. So if you've got the right people around you, it will push you, inspire you, promote you to do more. So like all these people, like even being able to phone Yianny, like I can ring Yianny now and say, bro, I'm thinking about this, what do you think? He'll give me advice, and he'll give me genuine advice. I can ring Tony right now, I can ring Sonny from Farmhouse. Like Sonny's giving me so much advice about so many different things. And then, you know, people from different walks of life will be able to give you different angles.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times things are about angles and how you look at it. And if you've got different eyes and genuine people around you, they'll be able to say, oh, Shaan, have you thought about it this way?
Yeah.
I haven't actually, you know, that makes sense. Let me think about it that way now. So now you start getting different avenues of making money, promoting yourself, doing what you want to do. Like, you know, I know some very successful people. There's this guy called Sunil. He's got a Botanic Warehouse, Atlantic Shopping. So if you ever need any bar stools, Atlantic Shopping is the one to
Shout out to them boys.
But he's a very nice guy, a genuine person, very, very successful person, like very successful person. I can ring him anytime, he'll give me advice, like how to do, like he understands online retail to another level. Like he's the biggest bar stool retailer in Europe, full stop, if not the world.
Just killing the game.
Just absolutely smashing it, and he understands business very, very well. And then like there's other people like George Dillon from Epic Bullies. He does dog breeding, etc. and stuff like that. But a very clued on person, very, very clued on person.
Do you think it's like it helps you to kind of see things in a different way? For example, if you've got like a problem that you're facing in business, you know, we always think that we know it all, but in reality we don't. Do you know what I mean? And then if you've got certain people around you that may look and give you a different perspective to look at it, it can help you in that way as well.
100%, yeah, 100%. Like we're none of us are perfect, right? I'm not perfect. I don't know everything. I don't pretend to know everything. I will always take advice from people. Anybody, younger, older, more successful. I don't like saying less successful, but people are on that journey. I will listen to anybody because everybody's got little pearls and diamonds that they can drop on you at any
100%.
time. But you gotta be open to it. I can't be sitting there thinking, I'm doing better than you. What are you gonna tell me? If you have that type of attitude, like it's wrong. You're
just gonna box yourself in, I think.
You're just gonna close yourself off to potential ways of bettering yourself. Like, you know, I would listen to kids. I would listen to young people talking about stuff because they'll give me different avenues, different angles, and I can relate to them on their wavelength. There's the next generation coming up, so they're going to be the next market. So, you know, you got to understand what they're thinking as well. So you can't just kind of close yourself off and think, okay, I'm just going to listen to X, Y, and Z and close A, B, and C off. You got to be open to listen to anybody. That's my opinion.
No, I agree, and I think you can learn something from anyone and everyone, whether they're in business, whether they're not in business. Whatever, if you have genuine conversations with people,
definitely,
you know, you take the good and leave the bad.
Different lives, right? We all have a different journey. We've all gone on different paths. So, like, I haven't lived your life, so there are things that you know that I don't know. So I can learn from you. Probably loads if I sat down and talked to you, and vice versa. A little bit from me, say, but like, there's so many people that have lived different lives, and until you talk to them, you don't know. So I love having conversations with people because you learn so much about people and about their journeys, and how it can inspire you, and you don't know how it's going to affect you. But yeah, like coming back to like having the right people around you, massive. Like I'll say this, like I was saying this to my nephew. Choose your friends wisely.
Choose your friends wisely.
Choose your friends wisely. And I say this to anybody that's listening to this. If you're young, and choose your friends wisely, because that's gonna make, like, I didn't want to say it, but say for example, me and Tony, like we went to the Porsche garage, right? He's like, I want to buy a Porsche. I was like, I want to buy a Porsche. Like, he's pushing me up, I'm like, he's sitting
in a healthy way.
I'm like, bro, that suits you. That suits you. You look good in that. I'm taking pictures of him, I'm sending it to him, and saying, bro, that suits you. But basically, we're pushing each other to kind of elevate ourselves, right? So we're gonna come away from that now. I'm gonna work harder, do what I gotta do, and just get to where we want to get to and do what we got to do. So if you got friends around you that are like that are pushing you to do stuff, you should do it. Like I said, my friend George is like saying, you need to invest in Dubai, buy this. He's bought like 2-3 apartments over there, £3-4 million each, and it's like, I'll show you how to kind of get into it, do this, do that. So when you're talking to these people, they're going to give you different avenues, they're going to push you, and they're going to say to you that it's achievable. Do you get what I mean? They're going to say to you it's achievable because they're going to say, I've done it, Shaan, look, I've done it. I ain't no different from you. You know my past. You know what I've been through. and I'm doing it. Why can't you do it? Do it, bro. What's wrong with you? This is how they
Yeah,
talk to you.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
do
yeah.
this. Like, why are you being hesitant? They'll push me to do this. Like, if you're hesitant to do something, if you got the right friends around you and they're genuine with you, they'll push you. Say, yeah, no, do it, man. Like, because you'll always have that doubt, right? Oh, should I do this? Should I do that? Is that too much of a risk? Is that? Da-da-da? But if you got the right people around you that are very genuine with you, they will either say to you, nah, don't do it. That's a bad move.
Yeah.
And then you can walk away from the conversation and dwell on it. Or they're going to say, yeah, that's a good move. And if they are saying it's a good move and you know what they like, you'll be like, okay, you know what? I'm going to listen to that. You might not end up doing it, but you're going to take that advice and you're going to really think about it and see if it fits for you or not.
I think this is like one of the things that we don't really put much emphasis on, and I think it's one of the most important things in anyone's journey is having the right people around you.
It's
you know,
so important.
That famous saying, you know, if you're chilling with 4 bums, you're going to be the 5th one.
Yeah. I'm a big believer of it. Like I said, since I've come around, I've always had good people around me. Alhamdulillah, I'm blessed in that. I've always had good people around me from a young age. But being around these successful people in the sense of what they've achieved and them talking to me and listening to them, it's only elevated me to do more and be better at what I do. There's been no downside to it. It's only been benefits. So choosing friends, like I've had, alhamdulillah, like I says, I've had very good surroundings from young, good friends, loyal.
Yeah.
You know, what I mean, be there for me, still are there for me. Like my friends when I was growing up, when I was 6, 7, 8, 9 years, they're still my friends. Like my circle hasn't changed, but I've just got a bigger circle. In the sense of, it's still very, like, I don't call everybody a friend, right? Like, it's you gotta be close, right? So, but I've got more people in my life now that I can turn to and say, like, this person's genuine and is going to help me and be willing to be there for me when they need to be.
I like that.
So alhamdulillah, blessed.
Well, whilst we're on the topic, just on the flip side, has there been any situations where you've had people around you that were there with the best intentions, maybe?
I've been very lucky, bro.
Okay.
Been very lucky because I've seen it happen to a lot of people. I've been,
because it can happen.
Yeah, I've seen it happen to people.
Yeah,
I've seen it happen to people, like people around me. I've seen it happen to. I've been blessed in that sense. I've not had anything kind of. I've had nobody change up around me. I've had nobody kind of do sneaky things or anything like that. Like I've been, like, alhamdulillah, I'm very, very.
That's
blessed.
probably down to more so you and your character.
That's what somebody else said to me, like, because the way you are with people, you know, they're gonna be the same way with you as such. But unfortunately, you do get people in the world that are like that. But I've been protected from that, I think, you know.
Because it's, you know, with business, it's known to be quite cutthroat. You do have to. Yeah. People say, you know, there's no emotions in business, and it can be quite cutthroat, and it's every dog for themselves type of thing. So
yeah, it can be, like I says, and to be fair, I would want to approach it in a different way and say, look, if you got the right people and you make the right choices, then you're good. You got to understand when business is business and when it's not business, right? When it's personal, like, you know, in my business, I've had stuff like people do sneaky stuff behind my back and try to do this or do that, but it's business. Like, and I accept it for what it is. It's business. I'm not.
You don't get emotional about it.
No. It's business. Like a lot of people say, oh, how can you have the patience with that guy for doing that? Or doing that? Oh, it's business, man. Like, you know, it's they're doing what's good for them, and it puts food on their table. Alhamdulillah, that's good for them. I'm happy for them. I ain't gonna hold
Fair
no
enough,
grudges.
man.
Personally, no, I've been good, like personal wise. Business wise, you're always going to get it. Like, it happens, you know what I mean? But it's how you look at it.
Yeah, I mean, business wise, because, you know,
like,
business is quite, like I said, you're a bit cutthroat.
Yeah.
And like you said, you know, there's always going to be something. And if you start getting emotional about every situation, you'll always be emotional about it. You'll always be crying.
Like, I'm very good at detaching business from personal life. Like, and if I look at something as it's a business deal, it's a business deal. I won't get emotional about it. I won't get hurt by it. It is what it is. I learned my lesson. Okay, if somebody's like I dealt with and feels like, you know what, I didn't enjoy that experience dealing with you, or the outcome wasn't what we should have expected, it's fine. No problem. Carry on. Best of luck, and I'll carry on. I ain't gonna hold a grudge. I ain't gonna think about that person. It is what it is. I wish you the best.
That's a really good mindset.
Yeah, it's to be honest, to hold that negativity inside of you, it just eats away at you.
It's doing more damage to you than it is to them.
There's no point. There's no point. I won't hold on to stuff like that. I just let it go very easily. Like, it's done. It's done. Like I remember one of the lads saying to me about this one guy, and he's like, "Oh, bro, how can you like be like that?" And I'm like, it doesn't bother me. It's just genuinely.
Some people don't have the patience, though, I think.
Yeah.
You know, some people. I used to be quite hot-headed in the sense where any little thing will trigger me, because I expected the same energy than that I was giving. And not everyone's like that. Not everyone is like you. Not everyone is probably as patient or as giving or as whatever.
Yeah.
And then if you're expecting that back, you are going to get angry. But then I'll kind of come to realize, like, not everyone is like you. And, you know, you can do everything with the best of intentions, and that's it. That's
yeah,
what
you
can
learn
do.
that as you get older, right?
Yeah.
But what I always say is that I don't like other people controlling my emotions. So for that person to get me angry, they have a control over me. So if I'm reacting that way, I'm getting angry, I'm getting frustrated, I'm getting emotional, that person's got a hold or control over me. So in an essence, it's kind of my own weakness that I've allowed that to happen. So it's kind of like, I don't want that control from other people. I want to be in control of myself, and be in control of my own emotions. So that's why I say I always try to detach myself when it comes to business. It is what it is, and I let it move and I keep growing. Like Rizq is written, right? You're gonna get what you're gonna get,
100%.
regardless, right? So you just got to put your time, effort into whatever you want to do, and you're gonna get what you're gonna get. That's guaranteed, right? So there's no point in me crying over spilt milk. You know, if someone's done me over or someone's done X, Y, and Z, doesn't faze me at all. Allah will provide. That's it, simple as that. I ain't bothered about it, and I keep moving.
I like that, man.
I ain't gonna let it hold me back. I ain't gonna let it overtake my life. Let it take over my emotions. It'll affect my relationships with my people around me. Like if I'm feeling a certain way, that expressed to other people. So I don't like to let people control me in whichever way it may be.
I like that. Okay, talking of that, so you know, okay, so since you've been on Yianny, you know, I feel as if that's kind of took you to that different level. Has anyone come across you and said to you, you know, you got lucky? Has that been a thing?
Yeah.
Then how would you have dealt with that?
I wouldn't say nobody said you got lucky in that kind of terminology, but in the sense of, yeah, maybe if you want to put it that way, you can say it is lucky. But how I look at it is like it was written for it to happen that way, right? The way it happened, kind of the way things happened, the way it fell into place. It was supposed to be that way. Like I remember somebody saying to me, like, I remember somebody said something like, "Oh, we didn't know you until Yianny, right?" So I have to give credit to that guy for that. Is it luck? I don't know if it's luck.
I think it's more so you know, with luck, it's a funny one because I always say, like, you have to be in a position to even receive that luck. And Yianny even said it in one of his videos with you, I think, when he came down to your showroom, and he kind of summarized it in a perfect way, where he said, like, look, it's not him so much shouting you out, it's the fact that you've got a good business, you've got a really good product, and you kind of utilize that and took yourself to that next level. Do you know what I mean? Because there's so many situations where even people that kind of getting brought into wealth, people be like, oh, it's easy for you because you've had money and you've always had money. But then you see people in the same positions of being brought into money where they've gone the opposite way.
100%, yeah.
So what do you say to those people then? Do you get what I mean?
So coming back to what you said, like, 100% right. Like Yianny said that so many times. He said it to me the other day. I got a voice note from him. He said the same thing. He goes, look, bro, you know, I gave you that platform, but if you weren't ready to accept it, and you weren't in the position, you didn't have a good business, and you couldn't have that model to expand to where you are right now, you would have just fallen on your face, and it would have been.
And it's happened to a lot of people.
And he says because so many people have shouted out over the years, and nothing's come of it. They've not kind of taken it or done anything with it. Is what it is. It's just
maximize that opportunity.
Yeah, it's just lasted for that post or that shout out or that week or two or a month or so, and after that it's kind of just faded away. So it's like kind of like giving me credit as such to say, look, I gave you the platform, and then you've done what you did with it from there. So he can't take all the credit, but it shows his humbleness as well.
No, he's a great. He seems like a great guy.
It shows his humbleness as well, because like my response to that was, it stemmed from what you did. Right, if that initial reaction didn't happen, or you didn't do what you did initially, then I wouldn't be able to do X, Y, and Z. But it all comes from Allah at the end of the day, regardless, 100%, right? So you know, it kind of just fell into place. It does. You gotta like he said, like you just mentioned, like some people come into wealth and they'll take it to another level. Some people come to wealth and it just goes pear-shaped and they mess it all up and they lose it and so forth. It does come down to yourself. It comes down intentions, I believe, as well, what your intentions are, and what you do with it from there. Like you're not consistent, you're not putting the graft in, so forth. It's not going to happen, right? Like I've got a cousin, alhamdulillah, in a very, very wealthy position. His dad's done really, really well in life. he came in and he's taken it to a completely different level. Like he's put that graft in. Nothing was given to him on a plate. Like nothing at all. Like his dad made him educated himself. He became professional, carried on, did what he did, made a very successful business out on his own 2 feet, coming from a very wealthy background. Like I won't talk numbers, but very wealthy background.
Nice.
Very wealthy, right? But he had nothing on a plate.
Okay.
His dad gave him nothing on a plate. He says, you work for what you got to do. Boom. And he did. Like he could have sat there because he knows like that's his inheritance. He's cool, he's good, but he didn't. Do you get what I mean? Like he didn't just sit there and get complacent. He put that great, and he's one of the hardest working people I know. Like one of the hardest people. He's one of the hard. I'm talking. He's in big money. Like it's not like average money. Right? He's in big money, right? So he could have sat at home and just sat there and chilled and been fine, and he would have been nice.
I wonder what gives them people the drive then, because.
Like I've spoke to him quite a few times, to be fair, and he's just like.
Can you say who it is, or?
He's my cousin. I won't say his name.
Okay.
He's very close. He's my big brother, to be fair. But he's like I said, one of the hardest working people I know. Like he's always on the grind, and that's only because like, and when I talk to him about it, he's like his response is I enjoy it. Right, he enjoys working. He doesn't want nothing given to him. He wants to earn everything he has.
Okay.
And then he appreciates the things that he does get from it. So when he goes on nice holidays, he appreciates because he knows he's worked for it, right? When he buys a nice car, he's like, I've grafted for this car. It just wasn't given to me.
It hits different.
It hits different when you worked hard and you get something, and you appreciate it more, right? Like, because you know what you've done. Only you will know what you've done for that. Like, be whatever it may be, whatever. Like, some people like clothes, some people like cars, some people like holidays, some people like looking after their family, like being able to provide for their family, the mom, dad, whatever it may be, kids, brothers, sisters. Different things do different for different people. And if you can achieve something, and you know you've done the legwork for it, you're going to appreciate that.
You're definitely going to appreciate it, and I think it builds your character and it develops you as a person. It's like, for example, if you give 2 people £1 million, one's financially illiterate, doesn't know what to do with that money, they've always been sitting on their ass all day. Someone that's a hustler but still in the trenches, the person that's a hustler will get to that stage where they'll probably quadruple their money, triple them, whatever it is. And it builds them as a person. Like, it's like, I'd rather earn that £1 million rather than being given that £1 million. I know to some people that may sound a bit crazy, but I think you'd enjoy it, you'd appreciate it more.
You'll understand it better. Like so many people you hear, like, say for example, all these people that won lotteries. Like they've lost it.
They're on the arse, and I think like how
did that possible? How is that possible, right? But because as quick as it comes is as quick as it goes, right? So if you build that foundation over years and years, and you put the graft in, and you know like how many sleepless nights you had and how many failures you had to get to the position that you're in, you will appreciate your position a little bit.
And that's what it does take, is sleepless nights. Very stressful nights,
100%,
sacrifices that you have to make in regards to, like, there's been situations where I remember in the early days where I had to miss, like, I never had a social life for like the first 2 years. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was always like, this is when I was talking about when I had the shop. First 2 years I had no social life, but I didn't mind it because I knew what the end product would be. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I think a lot of people don't realize. They think, as soon as I start a business, it's all the setting up the business. I think is probably the easiest part. I think is maintaining it, and growing the buess is the hardest
setting
part.
Up a business is to a certain degree, it's just finances, right? Like, if you can get finances together, you can set up anything you want, as long as you get the finances together. It's after that when the real work starts. But you got to be willing to do the graft. Like I will do whatever it takes. Do you get what I mean? Like I ain't that guy. Like, if I go into my showroom and the toilet needs clean, I'll clean the toilet. I've got no issues. You get what I mean? I gotta do the Hoover, I gotta clean the windows. I gotta do whatever I gotta do. I'll do it. Like Mother Hubbards, I'll stand on the till and I'll serve people and thank you very much and so forth, and I'll clean the tables if I need to. Like I've got no ego. I've got no pride like that in that sense. You know what I mean? I will do whatever I need to do. I've got self-respect. But I ain't scared of work. Do you get what I mean? Like some people say, "Oh, Shaan, you just like go around, see celebrities and talk to them." Like, I'll do whatever I need to do. I ain't afraid to say it. Like, I'll be raised that way. Do you get what I mean? Like, I will do what I need to do to provide for my loved ones around me and for myself at the end of the day, whatever it may be.
Okay, so going back to Inspirational Fires, which is your business. You know, you're saying it's a family business. I just wanted to touch on a little bit on that,
Yeah.
because I wanted to know what it's like working with family then. Because what
I absolutely
happens?
love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, I absolutely love it. Do you know what it is? It comes down to a few things. Like I said, I'm blessed for this. So again, like no judgment passed on anybody else and how other families work and operate and stuff like that. We've been very, very lucky, alhamdulillah, in that sense, right? We're blessed. Like I said, I'm one of 3 brothers, and my uncle's sons are one of 3 brothers, and we work together. Like all my family, we got a big family, like typical Pakistani, right? So we got big families, but those 3 and us 3, we work together in the whole process of it all. And when we was raised, like we lived in each other's houses, we was always tight from like young age. Like we don't consider ourselves as cousins, we consider ourselves as brothers, right?
Okay.
And how it works is, in my opinion, the only reason it works is everybody knows their place.
Okay, that's fair.
Everybody understands their place.
I think that's very important.
That's the key for me. If I kind of break it down and analyze it, it's everybody knows their place, right? So like I know my place in the system of it all. My elder brothers know their place in the system of it all. So long as everybody sits in their place and where they should be, it'll work.
Okay,
like
that
if
makes
tomorrow
a lot
I
more
turn
sense,
around and say to my elder brother, like, what are you on about? Like, I've done X, Y, and Z, and I've done this, and I've done that.
Which is what I think a lot of the times happens.
Which happens, right? It would fall apart very quickly. Because my elder brother would be like, what? He could turn around and say, who are you talking to like that? Do you know what I've done before you even got to where you were doing? Or so forth and so
That's
forth.
interesting,
Like,
yeah, man.
things can fall apart quite quickly. So there's always that respect, right? So there's always respect. So for example, like age-wise as well. So age-wise, there is always that respect. You get what I mean? Like,
which is fair enough.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough.
Which is how I've been raised. Right?
Yeah.
I'll always respect my youngers, and always respect my elders. But if somebody's older than me, I understand my position. Do you get what I mean? It's like a football team, and it's like if you got a football team together, and if you got a striker or a defender trying to be a striker, it's not going to work.
It's not going to work. Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean?
Everyone's got their position to play in it,
and everybody's important. So everybody important. Like that whole team is not going to work if that defender's not doing his job, midfielder's not doing his job, goalie's not doing his job, the coach is not doing his job, the physios are not doing their job. Like it's a team effort, right? So if everybody knows their position and knows what they have to do, any team activity business wise you can make it work, but everybody on that team needs to understand their position, their role, and if everybody's doing that, you can't fail. Like that's why it works with us. Everybody knows their role. Like my older brothers know their role, my younger cousins know their role, they understand where they are in the whole system of it all.
Okay.
And it just works. Like it just works very seamlessly.
You know, in sort of your journey being part of the business, what would you say has been the toughest moment?
COVID was tough.
Okay.
COVID time was tough.
Is that as a business or your personal?
As a business, COVID time was tough. For business wise, yeah, COVID time was tough because it was the first time that we actually had to shut doors, and it's like, well, what do we do now?
It wasn't classed as an essential business, was it?
No. After so many things happened at that period of time. At a certain point, we could open because we were heating, so we do parts, etc. So plumbers, engineers needed parts, so we could open to a certain point. But the initial time was scary business wise, because we didn't know what was going to happen, right? So we got
uncertain times.
Yeah, you still got overheads, you still got stuff to do, and then all of a sudden you're shutting doors. That flow of income is not coming in from your retail side of stuff. Alhamdulillah, we're blessed. So but business wise, it's like, what do we do? What's going to happen from here? So yeah, COVID time is probably a tough time, but at the same time, it's perspective, right? So unfortunately, it's a very sad time around the world for what happened at that period of time, but so much benefits come out of it. Like we grew after that. Like for home renovation businesses, if you talk to anybody, it boomed straight after that.
Yeah.
You know, people were sat at home, people were like bored, I need to do my house up. Like, you know,
I was one of them.
Yeah, because what happens is you spend so much time at home, and now you start looking at stuff thinking, I'm sitting in these 4 walls and I don't like it. And I need to make this a little bit nicer because I might be sitting here for a little bit longer, or if I get another lockdown, I might be here for another year. So, you know, whilst I can, let me get some work done. So, you know, people started doing a lot of work in the houses, so that side of business boomed. Social media kicked off at that point, in my opinion. So TikTok, Instagram, like if you look at the figures and the stats on how many people joined the social media side of stuff during COVID, like if you look at the figures, if nobody's looked at them, go and look at them. Like you had a massive influx of people joining Instagram and TikTok at that period of time in COVID, because
It's like Netflix went like through the roof. Everyone was just signing up to
so
Netflix.
Amazon went crazy.
Yeah.
Like so many things, like home delivery services, Uber, all this kind of stuff went mad, purely because of that period of time. So we had to adapt and change, which brought the best out of us coming out of COVID. So even though it was probably the worst time in the sense of uncertainty,
but I think that was across the board, isn't it?
yeah, coming out of it, it was a good thing business wise. So I won't say like anything business wise. For a lot of people suffered, unfortunately. A lot of people suffered, but a lot of people made a lot of money as well.
Were you guys pretty active on social media around them time? Wait, when did the whole Yianny thing happen? What year?
2 years ago, I think. 2 years ago. 2 years, I think. It's been that long.
Was that after lockdown?
It was after lockdown, yeah.
Okay, so were you guys pretty active before that whole thing? So was this like a push for you guys to think, what?
So what happened was, coming out of COVID, I started thinking about it. So coming out of COVID, I was like, okay, we need to get more social media presence.
So is this 0% social presence, or you had an Instagram page?
I had an Instagram page, probably posted once a year.
Yeah.
One of those kind of situations. But I remember coming out of COVID, and I was like, okay, I remember actually having the thought, we need to do more stuff on social media. I feel as though that's where it's going to go, because I joined Instagram, and I was on Instagram, I was on TikTok, and I was scrolling through stuff, and I'm looking at businesses. And
so you were aware?
I was completely, I came out of it, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to attack social media. I spoke to a videographer prior to even seeing Yianny about doing content, about making a video. I think one of the videos that we did, actually first video I made was prior to Yianny even meeting Yianny or talking to Yianny about fireplaces, or it was around the same time, or we was doing it, because I was already in contact with
that seemed like it was the perfect
timing.
Yeah.
That's what I said. The way that happened, you couldn't have written any better. It came together. It was like it was meant to be. All together. I was on that wavelength. I was thinking about it. I was trying to work out strategies on how I'm going to do it, and how I'm going to try to make this page grow, and what I'm going to do with it, etc.
But that's what I mean by you guys were ready and prepared to take the opportunity and maximize that opportunity.
So it happened at the perfect time.
Yeah.
So then the Yianny thing happened, and then from there kind of just adapted, and we just took it from where we are.
What was it? I know you spoke briefly, but what was it like working with Yianny at that point? Were you nervous? Was there pressure on?
Yeah, 100%. I remember, I'll tell you what happened. Basically, my nephew watched he's doing the home stuff, right? So I used to watch Yianny all the time as well, to be fair, prior to even meeting him. So, but I remember my nephew watched it. My nephew watched that episode, and in that episode, he basically turned around and says, I need a fireplace. So if anybody knows that, anybody who does fireplaces, please get in contact, email us, and so on. So my nephew's come in, I remember it was like half 11 at night, 12 o'clock, and he's coming, he's like, Uncle, Yianny needs a fireplace.
Yeah.
I go, what are you on about? Yianny needs a fireplace? Because I watched the latest episode. I said, no, I've not seen it. He goes, oh, check it out, watch it. And he showed me, and etc. I was like, oh, okay. And he's like, oh, you need to email him. But check this, like, I had just bought a MacBook.
Okay.
That day.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I just bought a MacBook that day. My office at home wasn't set up properly. I'd taken my main computer away, and I had a computer, but I was at home. I was in bed. I was ready to sleep. Yeah. So I was like, I was never gonna get up to go to my office to do an email. It wasn't gonna happen. I was sleeping. I was about to go, right. And then he said that to me. He showed me the video. I was like, oh yeah, I got a new MacBook here. I haven't set it up. Let me check this out. So I pulled it out, sat in my bed, and I wrote this email. Right. If I ever show you this email, like, it was just me being me.
Okay.
Like, normally I probably would have, like, if it was the next day, I would have probably gone like really professional.
Okay,
or
put
like,
a lot more thought into it.
Yeah, kind of like probably gone over the top with it, right? So I was like, and I was halfway expecting, he's not even gonna probably see this, right?
You just try it anyway.
But I'll do it. It's a new MacBook. My nephew's telling me about it. Yeah, let's check it out. So I write this email. Bang, email's gone. I'm at work. I think it's the next day I'm at work. I'm talking to one of the fitters, or I'm talking to somebody, a client, I can't remember. I think I was talking to one of the fitters, Eddge. Shout out to Eddge. And one of the lads has answered the phone. So normally if somebody rings in the showroom and says, I can't speak to Shaan, it's usually the case, he's with somebody, he's in a meeting, he's not here, I take a message, get back to you. So they got a phone call. I remember it was on loudspeaker. They never answered the phone on loudspeaker. Like, he answered the phone on loudspeaker. And I'm chatting to the fitter about some job or something, and the person's gone, I can't speak to Shaan, and Adnani's gone, he's a bit busy right now, I can't take a message to get him to give you a call back. And then all I heard, if you could just tell him it's Yianny from Yianny, right? And I'm like, I've looked over this. Yanny from Yanny, give me the phone, bro. Like, let me talk to him. So I remember I got the phone, and I remember Yanny said, goes, bro, I thought you was busy. And I was like, bro, I'm not busy no more. And he started laughing. And so we had a chat. So we got into it, basically, had a chat, and he's like, oh, this is what I'm looking for. So basically, just work-wise, I just told him professionally what I thought. Like, he was looking for a certain product. So you can't have that product. It's not going to work in what you want to do. This is what I think you should have. And he's gone, bro, he goes, you know what? I've been talking to so many different people.
Oh, so you told him straight, innit?
Yeah, and he goes, nobody's giving me this information. You're the first person to tell me as it is. And I like you. And I'm buying my fireplace from you. That was literally like that. He goes, I'm buying my fireplace from you. It's done deal. You send me what you think I should have. And we will make it work. He goes, but he goes, I'm telling you now, I'm buying my fireplace from you. I like you, I'll get a good vibe from you. I'm buying my fireplace from you. So I had a little chat, whatever, and it was cool. And I was like, yeah. And I got off the phone, I was like, yo, it's like Yianny from Yianny Boys, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've been watching this geezer for years.
How did you feel at that moment then? Like, once that phone call was
It was
done?
like, it was weird because, but he was so down to earth and made it feel normal.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it felt like a normal, like I was talking to one of the boys, like, it
sick.
felt very, very normal, right? But it was like, Yianny from Yianny Boys was a fireplace. Like, that was still in my head, right? It's Yianny, so.
But I think what was quite refreshing for him probably is like, because obviously when I'm assuming a lot of people that deal with him are kind of like, they'll be like, yes, we can do this.
Yeah,
and then when it comes to it, they're like, oh, sorry, we can't do it.
Yeah. So it's easy. It's very easy. So this is some advice to a lot of people as well. Always kind of speak your mind and tell people as it is. Don't get drawn into, because somebody's a certain person, to try to make it work or do something that you can't do, or trying to like cause yourself pressure and stress by agreeing to stuff that you can't kind of fulfill.
Like overpromise on the
Yeah,
delivery.
don't overpromise anything, right? Manage expectations. Like I remember even like Yanny's giving me advice like that. I remember he said to me, how long is it going to take? And I says, probably about 3 weeks. He goes, all right, let's say 6 weeks.
Okay.
Right? And I'm like, I says, yeah, okay, if you want to say 6 weeks. He goes, only reason I'm going to say that, Shaan, is because if you don't deliver in 3 weeks, then I won't be disappointed, right? If I say 6 weeks, then it gives you a bit of extra time. I don't want to put you under any pressure. I was like, you know what, fair play. Like, he's managing his own expectations. This is the perfect plan. I wish all my clients were like this. You know what I mean? I'm saying to you 2 weeks, and you're saying, nah, it's all right, give me 8 weeks. I'm like, yeah, man, I like this guy. Do you know what I mean? But he was teaching me a lesson as well at the same time, to say, listen, I don't want you to mess this up. So I'm going to give you all the leeway, no pressure. You sort it out when you can sort it out. So, you know, obviously I've taken that board and implemented that in what I do now as well. So it's kind of like, it was nice to chat with him, got off the phone. I was like, and I remember that. So got off the phone to him, and I was talking to the boys like, all right, yeah. He said he's going to buy it from me. Like, which one do I do? So
Did they believe you at that point? Or was they like, you're having a laugh?
Yeah, no, the dream. But I was like, when I told my nephew, he was like, because he rang you. I was like, yeah, he rang me. I wasn't going to take the call. I was like, I was busy until I heard his voice.
Imagine
but look,
that.
check out it all worked out though. So the next day, I remember contacting. I was thinking like, no. So I was going to send him some pictures. I was like, that's a bit crap, anyway. Just sending some pictures. Like, you can't justify the fires and fireplaces through pictures, because I'd already been thinking along videography lines. I remember contacting 2-3 videographers, and I was like, I need a video done today, tonight, because I need to send it to Yianny tomorrow. Like, I don't want to like leave it for 3, 4, 5 days. Like, Yianny said to me, I remember, I think it was like Thursday or something, and Yanny's like, yeah, you like get back to me by Monday or Tuesday or whatever, right? I was like, look, I want to get back to him straight away. I know he said Monday, Tuesday, but I want to deliver. I want to do what I got to do, right? So I spoke to his videographers, and they were like, oh, we're busy, we're booked up, blah blah blah. And it's like, all right, cool, like I get it, it's last minute, etc. So I remember getting off the phone to them. I remember saying to Harvey in the showroom, I was like, Harvey, let's make a video of the fires, and we just send it to him, like, just on the phone or whatever. So we made a video of the fires, and I remember watching it back. I was like, that looks crap, man. Like, it just looks crap.
Not as professional as you'd like.
Yeah, it just doesn't look good. So I says, I go, let me talk on it so I can explain what's what with the fires and fireplaces, right?
Yeah.
So we did this the next day. So the next day, got up, made a video. So this again to people listening and stuff, if kind of like how they approach clients and what they do. It doesn't necessarily need to be a celebrity or influencer or somebody of influence. It could be any client that you want to obtain, right? So I watched Yianny's videos. That night I watched some more. The next day I got up and made that video. So I made that video, and as Harvey recorded it, I made the video, I made it relevant to Yianny. So on the TVs around the showroom, I had the Yianny YouTube channel up. I had Daniel from Asheville's YouTube channel are playing in the background as we're walking around the show. I'm showing these fireplaces. As I'm talking about the fires, I'm relating it to cars. I'm relating it to colours of cars, Nardo, grey, etc. Blah, blah, blah. I'm relating it to rap colours, stuff that's happened in his videos. Like at one point they were arguing about what grey colour this is. I says you could call it rock grey, you could call it Nardo grey. I'll let you guys decide which one it is, right? So basically I made it very, very
customized
to him.
Yeah.
Specifically for that purpose, right?
I like that.
So I made that little video and I sent it to him by email. He's rang me up. I rang Yianny and I says like, if Yianny's there, just let him know I've sent him the video via email and just let me know.
So this was the video that you guys created on your own on your phone,
on a mobile phone,
okay.
Right? So sent that off. Yianny's rang me back, bro. I can't open the file, right? Don't know what's happening, and he's going. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll give you my mobile number, and it's like, bro, don't give my mobile number out to anybody. I was don't worry about it, I won't do that. But it made me get his mobile number, right?
Yeah.
So I sent it to you on WhatsApp, and he watched the video back, and he goes, it's genius. Like that's, I think that's what he said, something like genius, like
amazing,
smashed it basically, yeah. Because you could see that I made it customized. You're
putting effort into this,
yeah. So bang, he chose a fireplace, and then that's when it happened. So one of the days on, I think it was Sunday, I get a text from him, and he's gone, bro, just to let you know, I've put something on social media, fair play to you, it was a sick video, and this one's on me, bro, just bang, and he put it out, and that's when he went mad. That's when I started getting all these followers, loads of inquiries. So he posted my video. So did you not
meet him up at this point?
I hadn't met him. I've spoken to him on the phone a few times.
So he chose it over that video, like which fireplaces?
Yeah. So he chose it over video, which a lot of clients do. Like,
do they?
Yeah, a lot of clients would choose products. That's why a lot of stuff we do nationwide. Like people will do Zoom calls, we do WhatsApp calls, we do FaceTime.
Is it like a small recommendations that you'll make, like 5 fireplaces, and then you get the choose?
So what will happen is like if I speak to a client, I'm understanding what they want.
Okay.
So I'm listening to what they say. So I'll ask specific questions in regards to, and this again can be transferred to any business. I'm just understanding the client's needs, right? So I'm listening to what the client's asking for. I ask them the right questions. I make sure I ask them the right questions to be able to direct them the right way.
I got that.
So once that's done, then I'll say, okay, this is my short list of products for you. This is what I think you should have.
Okay.
These are the reasons why I think you should have them. So now, if you said to me, okay, let's take it to cars. I need a car, but it needs to be fast. But I need to get my family in it. There's no point me selling you a 2-seater car,
a
Lambo or something.
Sense.
Like, it's pointless, right? And me presenting you that product, you can be like, it's fast, but I can't get my kids in there. Why are you even showing me this? So you gotta basically understand your client's needs to be able to recommend.
It gives you a better idea of what they want, and then
saves
you
time.
can
Saves so much time. The client has confidence in you at that point. They're thinking, right, okay, this person is listening to what I'm saying, and they're providing me information that I actually need, and then I'm also answering their questions. So they little things, for example, if they've mentioned kids, I'll be talking about safety, right? I'll be talking about safety because obviously everybody wants their kids to be safe, right? So I'll talk about safety. Is this fire going to burn your kids? Is it hot? What's going to happen in that process? Or why you should have it because it's safe because you've got kids. Do you know what I mean?
Was that the same approach that you done with Yianny then?
So I just listened to what he wanted, and I gave him my recommendation. I gave him 3 products to choose from, which was in that video, and then he chose one product and he was happy with it. Job done. Nice. And then we just gained a rapport. We started chatting. He gave me loads of advice. Like he's to a certain degree he's a mentor. I can ring him up any time. Like he'll give me advice. I can talk to him about stuff. Like so, if I'm thinking of making a move or thinking of doing something, I can ring him up and say, "Bro, what do you think about this?" And like he'll give me his genuine opinion. Like he's genuine. He'll give me his genuine opinion and say, like, "Shaan, this is what I think. This is how your approach should be." So he helped me a lot in that sense.
Is that when you realise, I need to get on social media?
Yeah. So as soon as that thing happened, then it was like let me make the most of it. So that hype's there. Let me build on it now. If I don't, then
maximize on the opportunity. Yeah, 100%.
So the opportunity presented itself. I'm a fool not to take it.
100%. 100%.
So if I don't act upon it, it was pointless even happening. Do you know what I mean? It'll just be very short lived. So I saw that as an opportunity to go nationwide. which is what we did with it.
What are you guys doing now then, like in regards to social media? Because I've been through your social media, but just for the guys that are listening.
So basically, social media wise, we try to put as much content out as we can. It's difficult because we're doing so much work, right? So we're trying to stay on top of it. I took a little break, but we're basically showcasing products that we sell, the bespoke joinery work that we do, customization, all that kind of stuff, and putting that out there, showcasing the people that we work with. You know, there's not everything on there that we do that we should be posting. To be fair, I need to do more.
Are you guys vlogging? Yeah.
No.
Is that something that you? I reckon you should be vlogging. You
a
guys
lot
should
of
be
people have
vlogging.
said that, to be fair.
Like especially when you're working with like farmhouse guys and even Yianny and all these high profile clients, people like to see that.
Yeah, 100%. Like, to be fair, it's kind of like there's two ways of looking at it, right? It's like so somebody said this. I won't say who it is, but somebody says, do you want to be famous or do you want to build your business? Like, you can go two routes with it, right? So you can become famous if you want to become famous, right? Or you want to build a good, solid business. So my process right now is I'm trying to build a good, solid business, build a good brand, take that to another level before I go anywhere else. I have done some YouTube videos. I haven't posted them yet. So I've done basically house tours. So what I'm going to be putting out there is going to be house tours. So I've done one at, for example, Sonny, his house. So we did basically, it's like a vlog. So I'm basically going to somebody's house, like a podcast to a certain degree as well. So I'm going to somebody's house, I'm having a chat with them, I'm going through the house with them, looking at what they've done, what the bits were hard, easy, what they enjoyed, what they didn't enjoy, the struggles they had in getting work done from that perspective.
Because if you think about it, like if you look at someone like Asheville, like that business is not interesting to your normal person.
I had this conversation with Yianny.
Do you get what I mean?
I had this conversation with Yianny because I said to him, I go, bro, I don't know which way to go with this because fireplaces are boring, right? Like how I can make it exciting, but how exciting can I make it? Like, nobody's gonna like it as much as clothes or cars or music and stuff like that, right? And it's difficult. And he's going, bro, because you're thinking about it the wrong way. He says, what you mean? He goes, look at Daniel. He goes, bro. He goes, how exciting can be brick and mortar, cement and stuff like that? He goes, it's not.
It's not.
But he's a nice character. He's a good person. He presents it in the right way, and he's smashing it.
You know what I think he does well? He vlog style, so he'll talk about some of the struggles. Okay, he's gonna go buy 10 trucks. And then he'll sort of document that journey of what goes into the decision making. They're very expensive trucks. How is he, what are the things that he's looking at? Like, I'll watch him and I'll take away like how he conducts business.
This is the thing, because you can transfer information to many different businesses. So if an intelligent person is watching something, and say for example I'm talking about business now, you can transfer a lot of information. Say I've used for fireplaces, but transfer it to a desserts business, transfer it to a car business, a clothing business. You can transfer a lot of information. That's why I love talking to people from different backgrounds and different work, different businesses and stuff like that, because you can always transfer that information to what you're doing, and that's can make you different from everybody else.
That's what is making everyone different. That's why Asheville is on the top of the. Look at Yianny, for example. He's dealing with nice cars, but his business is wrapping cars.
Of course,
and he's just made it very interesting. He's documented, he's getting his team involved. They've got big from his channel, like his own team have made their own businesses and whatnot from that channel. So it's definitely something that you could easily do.
Like Yianny's become a brand.
He's a brand.
He's a walking, talking brand. Like Yianny doesn't exist if it wasn't for Yianny. Like, how many car wrapping companies are there out there? There's loads, bro, but not many of them are successful as him, because of how he's conducted the business.
It's social media and putting out the content. And he did
it. You're absolutely right. Like, anybody can do it. Like, but it is very time consuming.
No, it is.
It's
not easy.
It's not easy. It's very time consuming. Like, even like I remember when I filmed 5 episodes of that YouTube thing I was talking about for the home renovation stuff. It takes up a lot of your time, and I've done some vlogs that we filmed like 3-4 episodes. It takes up a lot of your time. It's not easy. You gotta schedule stuff. You gotta plan stuff in.
You gotta be consistent.
Because and if I'm doing a vlog, I'm gonna plan my day around it. So I'm gonna say, okay, to make this vlog interesting, this is how it happens. Like, I gotta plan that day.
You do.
If I'm not planning that day, it's not a vlog, right?
You
gotta have stuff scheduled in for you to be able to do it. But when you're trying to run a business at the same time. And now you got to be careful, because what you don't want to do is start sacrificing your business just because you want to try to gain this.
It's finding that balance in it.
It's finding the balance. So timing, it's all about timing. So, for example, like when you said vlogging, I 100% agree. I should do it. but I'm just trying to wait for the right time to get to that position, which I'm working on right now, to get to the position where, right, okay, everything's kind of streamlined, everything's working the way it should be, everything's smooth. I don't want to let my clients down, so my focus and concentration is make sure that service is 100%
No, I got
first.
that. Yeah.
Once I've got to a point where I think, okay, I'm happy, because I've got downsides, like there's stuff to my business that I need to fix. Like there's loads of stuff I need to fix, right? That I need to sort stuff out. Once I get to the position where I'm comfortable, I'm at that stage, then I can go around and start making vlogs and doing so. So then my clients won't sit there and think, oh, this guy is supposed to be getting back to me by this fireplace, but he's too busy making vlogs. What's this guy's? Where's the importance? So once you're in that position and you're ready to do it, then I think it's the right time to do it.
I think you'd.
But I appreciate you saying that I could do it.
I think you'd really benefit from it. I think your business and the way you conduct business and your clients and everything, I think it's like the perfect recipe for like success.
Yeah, a lot of people have said that.
Because if you look at Asheville, that business is so like it's not interesting in any aspect of that business.
It's not,
the business itself. Obviously, unless you want builders as your audience, they'll probably learn a few tricks. But watching him and watching his channel grow and his business grow. Made me realize it's not necessarily about what you do, it's how you do it and what you're showing people, showcasing the good, the bad, the ugly, the negotiations, the whatever aspect you go through and in your business. If you document, people can relate to it, and like you said, there's people out there that will learn things from it. Like I watch some stupid stuff on Netflix, what might seem stupid, but I'm learning. Like there's that Rust to Riches or something, some like old American muscle car business, and they got a garage and they fix up cars, and I just like how they're running their business, and I just try and take tips from it. I'm like, that's how he manages his team, that's how he motivates his team, this is how they, you know what I mean? And is there anything that I could
100% agree,
do you know what I mean?
100% agree.
Not necessarily the cars obviously is cool,
but again, it's giving you different angles in it. So you're listening to people that have made X, Y, and Z problem. You kind of absorb that information now. When that issue arises in your life, you can relate back to that and think, okay, how did that person deal with that?
Literally,
I could deal with it the same way. So you're learning, right? So you're learning.
And it's one of the amazing things about this podcast as well. For example, for yourself, coming onto the podcast, sharing your wisdom, sharing your journey. It's just amazing because everyone's so different as well. Like, you from my previous guests and et cetera, like it's so different, but yet you learn so much. You're learning so much. And again, it's people who you have around you, like you said before.
Agreed,
so do you think, so you being in business, do you think business is for everyone? Like, would you be happy if you went into a 9-to-5 tomorrow?
I don't think business is for everyone, right? I can see the pros and cons to it. Do you get what I mean? Like, there's downsides to having
let's talk about the cons.
So, for example, having your own business, like, you can't switch off. Personally, I can only talk from my perspective, right? You don't switch off.
I think that's what 99.9% of people say.
So I will go home, stuff is still on my mind. I'm in bed, I'm still thinking about stuff. I'll wake up in the morning, I'm thinking about stuff. I'll go on holiday, I'm thinking about stuff. So you can't completely switch off. So that's one I would say is a downside. If you're growing your business, it's very time consuming. Like, you got to put that effort and grind into it. So other things start sacrificing: social lives, relationships, people around you, etc. There's that element to it. But there's also lots of benefits to it, right? So you got to weigh up what's more important to you and how you feel about it, and if you can handle it or not. Like, because a lot of people can't handle it.
People always ask that question, and what's the key to work-life balance? And I think in business, especially at the beginning, there's no such thing as work-life balance.
It's very difficult to get that balance right. It takes a lot of time, a lot of experience, because you got to work out. And you got to prioritize things in life, right? You got to start, like what I've started doing recently is start understanding, okay, what's the most important thing to me in my life, right? I'll put that in number one. What's the next most important thing? What's the next most important thing? And then I try to give everything its right amount of time. It's like scheduling your diary, right? Or scheduling your day. You got to work out what's most important to you, and then come down in that system of things. So if you do that and you understand that, so for example, say my family is the most important thing to me, then I should be giving my family the most time or effort or whatever it may be, and then so forth and so forth. But then it will overlap, because at the end of the day, if you want to try to provide for your family, then you're going to have to graft, right? So it's you do got to be careful, because you still, it's like, for example, like I lost my dad, right? Just over 5 years ago. But like it'll make you, like when things like that happen, it makes you understand the importance of relationships with people around you, family members, friends, etc. You know, you start understanding like, I don't care about this. This is really important.
It puts everything into perspective,
right? So as you get older, what will happen is that things like that will happen in your life, and you'll start getting resetted, and like respect is really important to me. Like how somebody thinks of me is really important to me, and like no money ever could override that. Like if I'm a friend with you, you're friends with me, right? There's no money that can come in between us. Like I would never let that happen. Like I couldn't let it happen. My relationship with you is more important than any sum or figure you could put on it. Like you could put any figure on anything. If I've got a good relationship with, I will. If someone turned around and said to me, okay, oh yeah, this guy is your close friend. Here's 10 mil. Don't talk to him. I would like to think, and Allah give me the strength to, that I would say no, I don't want the money, because that relationship is much more important to me than any source of income or money that I could probably provide, because that person as well, that person will do dua for me. That's going to be worth more than anything in a lifetime. Do you get what I mean? That
I
person
like
can
that.
save me.
I
So
like that, yeah.
you know, relationships are very, very important. Give your loved one time. Try to find that balance. It's very difficult. You'll probably learn it as you get older, as you go through different experiences.
Do you think you're a different person, like let's just say 10 years ago?
Yeah.
And you've kind of grown. Do you think that's, you know, being in such a business is pressure, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you think that's helped you kind of grow as well? As a
Yeah.
person?
So kind of been it's made me more patient. So I'm much more of a patient person than I used to be. It's made me handle stress better. Like I can be put under very high stressful situations, and I'll stay
Remain calm.
quite relaxed and calm in the situation. Composed. I can think level headed. So like I won't let emotions come over my thought process. I'll still be able to analyze stuff and I like to think I make the right.
Do you think that's all come through your experience?
Yeah. A lot of it
going
has.
through these
A lot of it has,
hardships and stuff.
It's like what I say, for example, like if you go gym, right? You train your muscles will become stronger. So your mind is a similar thing. So if you're putting your, not say go out and do this, right? But if your mind is being put under stress and pressure and strain, you should get stronger from it, because you dealt with situations. For example, loss. Like if you deal with loss and you've dealt with loss and you've been able to overcome that, and you'll make you a stronger person, and then you potentially be able to deal with a different type of loss in a different way, in a probably better way, or business wise, you made a wrong move in business, and you take that way, you learn from it, and next time you don't do it. So everything in life is an experience, and you got to learn from it. The fool is the person that doesn't learn from their mistakes, or learn from life experiences. If something happens and you take away, good or bad, if it's bad, even as long as you take something away from that, it's not a bad experience.
Because what I'm trying to illustrate to the people watching, listening, is I know a lot of people are talking about this, but I just want to put some emphasis on it. Like, business isn't easy, and you have to have thick skin, and don't think you're gonna know it all from day one. Oh no, you were a different guy from when you joined the business to where you are now. And I'm sure everyone can say that from when they started the business. Like, I remember when I first dabbled in business, I was so naive to a lot of things, and it kind of makes me laugh, but it was through that I learned so much. And now if I was to start a new business, it would be a different approach. Do you know what I mean?
That's why, sorry to interrupt you, that's why it's important, like people that are listening to podcasts, right?
Yeah.
So what happens is you're learning from other people's experiences. So again, if you're not listening to what, say, somebody that, for example, like yourself, been through X, Y, and Z is saying, and you're not absorbing that information, like you've got blueprints from different people. Like if I go back and I'm a youngster, it's very difficult to do, but say if we went back and I know what I know now, and I'm thinking like, I'm going to take information from that person, I'm taking information from that person, so I can learn from their mistakes. I can 100%. I can better myself, I can avoid those things, and then I can kind of like skip those steps and get there faster.
But saying that, like, no matter how many podcasts you listen to, you will learn on the job. There's always going to be you falling flat on your face. There's always going to be some element of that.
You have to have failure. Like you have to fail at stuff for you to get better at it. Like you have to. It has to happen. Do you get what I mean? Like if you've got everything easy and everything just goes, like I would like to say, if I talk to many people that have been in businesses, they will always turn around and say there's been some form of failure somewhere along the line. They've had to learn from it. There's been mistakes for them to get better. Even
the biggest of the biggest,
right? Because you learn from that. But the question is, do you learn from it or not?
Yeah.
Like I see a lot of people that don't learn from mistakes.
It's
keep
easy
repeating
to get
same mistakes.
disheartened. Like
Very easy. Yeah.
Like
very
even
easy.
for this podcast, there's been people, not many. There's been like once or twice where I've asked someone to come onto the podcast, for example, and they've said no. Basically,
Yeah.
It's kind of disheartening. You just think,
Yeah.
can I be asked with this, or
Yeah.
is this something that I should continue doing? This, that, and any type of business or project, whatever you're pursuing at that point, there are going to be times where you're going to think, what, is this even worth it?
Yeah.
But through the perseverance and consistency, inshallah, you will see
Inshallah,
some reward.
If your intentions are right,
Mm.
you got the work ethic there, the consistency there, you'll be a success at whatever you do. Like I'm a big believer in intentions as well. What are you doing it for?
What are you doing it for?
What I'm doing it for family. I'll be honest with you. I'm doing it for I like to feel as though I'm a provider. Do you get what I mean? Like I get a buzz of being able to help people or help my family or better them, do nice stuff for my mom, do nice things for my nieces and nephews and my brothers, etc. I get a buzz from it. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
My friends, like I get a buzz from it. Like that's my high. Do you get what I mean? That's what I feed off. So I do it for my own. I do it for my own security because I'm trying to secure my own future.
Yeah.
I want to have a chilled out life. Life can be very short. Do you know what I mean? Life can be very short, so you got to make sure you enjoy the journey as well at the same time. Don't just get into that mode. Like life can be very short. So you got to enjoy what you're doing at the same time. So that's very important to do something that you enjoy. I can't emphasize that enough. If you're doing something that you don't enjoy, it's gonna be.
What
hard.
is it? Let's talk about it. What is it that you enjoy about the business then?
My business, what I enjoy about it is this. I enjoy meeting people. I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy interacting with people, which is one of the reasons why I even stayed in that business, because every day there's somebody different walking through that door. Literally every day. I've made so many connections through work, from meeting people from different walks of life, doing different things and just talking with them, and that's one aspect definitely I like. Second aspect of what I like about it is creating something from scratch. So for example, I've got a blank wall and I create something and I sit back and look and think, that looks sick.
Yeah.
Right? That gives me a buzz. And then for the client to turn around and say, Shaan, I love that, looks beautiful. Like what you've done there, you designed it, you've got it done, you've followed it through. I love it, it's amazing, bang.
It's just that feeling, innit?
It's that buzz, right? So it's kind of like that whole enjoyment of doing that. And then the whole element of being able to provide for people around me and be that person people can turn to if they needed to, so I feel good about that, and then it allows me to do a lot of stuff. Like I love charity, like I love charity, like I love it, like I love giving charity, like I wish I could do more than what I do, but I absolutely love it, and so this allows me to do more work with charities, which I love. That's a passion of mine.
Do you think people that are just doing business purely for the money, like, do you think they can be successful?
Everybody's got different motivations, right? So like I can't judge and pass judgment on people and for what they do and what they do it for. Like if your motivation is money, you can be successful. 100% you can be successful because you're trying to ascertain money, right? Will it make you happy? I don't know. Right?
That's the golden question.
Yeah. Will it make you happy? I don't know. I don't think money will make you happy. I genuinely don't think money will make you happy. Make your life easier, but will it make you happy?
I like that point, because I remember looking back when I first started out, and what used to get me going. Obviously, the money aspect was nice.
Yeah, it's always there. Yeah.
No one's going to say no to that. Money makes the world go round. Yeah,
yeah,
ultimately, we are trying to.
I'll tell you something. Somebody said to me. It goes, sorry to interrupt.
No,
you.
go on. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good.
There's a fine line between respecting money and worshipping money.
I like that.
Right, there's a very fine line.
Yeah.
I respect money because it provides for my family. It puts a roof over my head, puts clothes on my back, puts food in my belly. I respect it, but I will never worship it. Like it's not gonna be like I would like.
No, you proved that by earlier saying you respect a relationship over money. If someone was to give you X amount of money, you wouldn't ruin that relationship.
100%.
So that just goes to show that ultimately it's not money that you're seeking.
No.
But at the same time, money does make the world go round. And just as you said that, like there was another one where they say, keep your money in your hand but not in your heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
So have
Yeah, I
it
like
so you
that.
can control it.
Yeah, I like that.
But as soon as you start falling in love with it and you start obsessing over it and you're really willing to sacrifice relationships,
It's a dangerous
and that,
place to be. Yeah.
ultimately you're going to be miserable.
Yeah, it's a dangerous place to be.
Yeah.
Very dangerous place to be. You know, it's. And I remember talking to somebody else about this. I said, you got to enjoy what you do as well, right? So you got to enjoy what you do. Money would be a byproduct.
100%.
Do you get what I mean? Like when I work, I don't focus on the money. Like I'm not thinking about, okay, how big is this? Like I'll sell 20, 30 grand fireplaces, but I'm not focusing on 20, 30 grand like that. For 20, 30 grand there, what is this guy having? Yeah, he's having a nice product. I want to do that product because I know it's going to look nice. You get what I mean? Like, and who's the client? What's it going to be for? Where's it going? The house is nice. Like this is going to look stunning. I'm excited to do that. That part will come. He's gonna have to pay for it. He's gonna get paid, right? It's gonna happen.
You're just
like I remember when I did Reece Nelson's job. That was a big job. It's a big money job, right? I don't like talking figures, but it was a big money job, but I was just more excited about it. And it wasn't because it was an Arsenal footballer and it was Reece Nelson. The job that we did, I loved the job that we did. I was getting paid.
Yeah.
Reece is always gonna pay me. I'm gonna get paid. So the money's going to come. It's a byproduct. So I didn't need to necessarily focus on the money. I focused on what I was doing. I wanted to be best at what I do. The money's going to be a byproduct of that regardless. If I'm providing, like, I remember somebody said to me, what position you want to be? I want to be in the position where when people think about fireplaces, they think about me.
Yeah, you're the go-to guy, the fireplace guy.
The fireplace guy. So now, not necessarily say they even buy the product from me, but I'm at least in the thought process. I've been considered somewhere in that whole thought process.
Yeah, I'll get
my
that.
name rung in
I'll
their
get
head.
that.
Then I'll always make money if I'm in that position, because I'll probably get 40% of those customers, 30% of those customers. I'll still make money as long as I'm in that position. But I'm focusing on that rather than what the money is.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? So
no, I like that, and also I resonate with what you said earlier, where you like creating something, from scratch. And looking back, what kind of gets me going is not necessarily the money. It's so when I first started the dessert shop, I was 25 years old when I started that dessert shop, and I remember my first customer coming in, not my family or friends. It was the first customer, actual customer that came through those doors and spent money in there. That was like the highlight for me. It's because someone that I didn't know came to my shop that I created. I created the brand. I created the design of the shop. I created the dessert. Do you know what I mean? I put that together, and someone that I didn't know has come in and got value from it, spent money and left happy. Like,
good feeling,
that's
right?
what gave me a buzz. And it was crazy. And everyone was saying, "Oh, bro, would you sell this for like X amount of money?" I'm like, no, because I just love this process. I just loved creating something from scratch. And also another thing that didn't excite me was, even though financially it would make sense, was franchising. Especially at that age. Now I know, franchising, for example, is financially makes sense. But because I'm a brand guy, I like web design, I love brands, so I wanted to create a brand for myself and be like, look, this is what I've created, and people are coming inside to my shop. Do you know what I mean?
So you're a creator.
I'm a creator.
So you'll get people like that where they get so connected to what they're doing that they absolutely love that whole process. The money's byproduct.
The money will come.
So you was happy for that guy just to walk in, appreciate your place that you created, buy a product from you, whatever it may be, and walk away happy.
That's what gave me the buzz.
That's what gave you the buzz. But the money was in the till, right? Regardless.
Yeah, exactly.
So the money
and this is what it's things like this one I was trying to emphasize to people is like, look, don't necessarily focus on the money. Money is important. I'm not saying money isn't important.
I agree.
I'd be stupid and naive to think money isn't important. And this is not what I'm trying to say to people. It's, just like you enjoy every day going into business, networking with people, creating from something from scratch, and looking back and appreciating it, and then watching your customer appreciating it as well. The money's going to come. And like you said, you want to be the best at what you do. So when people think about getting a fireplace done, you want to be at least in the thought
process.
And I think if everyone was to think like that, and if everyone had that similar goal, we'd all be doing well.
I'll give you an example. Like we did a guy called Ulysses, Yianny's mate. He's got like 8.2 million followers on Instagram, probably like more now. I haven't checked it recently, but like 8+ million, right? So he wanted a fireplace. His last fireplace company guy let him down. Yianny put me in contact with him, told him what he wanted. He said, cool. Gave him a price. I said, I'll do you X amount of discount because you're Yianny's mate. And he said, yeah, cool, no problem, get it done. We did it to our full effort, went over and beyond, just because it was going to be a beautiful job, right? We got it done. At the end, it came to paying for it, and he's gone, Shaan. So it was, whatever discount it was, I won't say, but I gave him a little discount. It wasn't massive, but I gave him a little discount. He turned around and says, I'm paying you the full invoice. I don't want the discounted price. I was like, nah, bro, it's cool. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Yianny's mate, etc. It's like, nah. He goes, you gave me a wicked service. I'm very happy with the product. You saved me money from the previous company that was like, they were charging me double what you charged me. So you've saved me money regardless. I want to pay you what you did for. I don't want the discount, bro. I'll still do whatever you want me to do, but I want you to pay the full invoice. Purely because he was happy with the service we
He
provided.
appreciated the service. Yeah.
So again, like if I was focusing on the money, I'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
you know, I wouldn't
And
want to
plus,
give
now
you
that's
discount.
built a good relationship now, because he knows that you're not just after the money.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Exactly. So everybody that I deal with, they'll quickly to learn and understand from me is that it's not about the money side of stuff. It's a byproduct. It'll happen. You'll get paid. But I'm not talking about that. I'm focusing on what we're going to do. Whatever that side of stuff is, it's going to be. It is what it is.
I like that,
you know.
yeah.
So it's. I think that attitude works for me. Anyway, right?
I like that. I agree.
I think a lot of people tend to appreciate that, and a lot of people see that, like you said, the clients see that. And it just works. It just works for me. So
Talking about money, I know you don't really like talking specifics and whatnot, which is fine. But can we talk about what's been the highest amount, like the highest paid job?
It's crazy.
You won't have to say who or anything like that.
It's crazy because when you think about fireplaces, you think like, how much can you really spend on a
No,
fireplace?
because you know what I think, because I wasn't even going to ask the question, but then you said like 20-30 grand. I'm thinking, whoa,
Yeah.
is that how much they are?
A lot of people don't know, right? So like, you can go crazy. Like, we have a massive range. Like, you can get fires for £300-400.
What's the lowest, like yourself, like what would be the lowest type of project or fireplace that you'd sell?
We have a massive range.
Okay.
So someone can come in and buy a product from us for £300
Okay.
and get it fitted in the house. Be a
Got
small
ya.
gas fire, electric fire, or something like that.
Okay.
But then we'll do products that will go up to, product wise. So let's say we have products that will go up to 30-40 grand.
Just a product?
Just the product.
And then you add the service and installation,
and then you might get people
designing.
that buy 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So I'll let you guys do the maths.
Damn. That's
So-
nice.
So
That's nice,
that's
man.
how it works. So you got luxury ranges. So you have massive luxury ranges, like, you know, there are products that will cost that much.
So you know how you're saying that you got a medial wall and you've got the fireplace,
Yeah.
and is that like the higher end projects where?
So something like that, like when you start on the base point like that, it probably costs you 2.5-3 grand for like that kind of setup. But then I could go crazy with it. Like, I can do some mad finishes on it. I can do some mad marble on it, some finished boards, mad fires into it. Like, you know, like the massive range of fires available.
Is that the exciting part of the project, just like getting all this together?
Yeah. So I get a lot involved in the design aspect of stuff now. So I concentrate a lot on the design stuff. And it's like I'm coming up with new designs all the time, and like people are looking at that, yo, how did you do that?
Fair play. Man.
So it's kind of just thinking out of the box a little bit. So yeah, that gives me a buzz. Like, the whole design side of stuff gives me a buzz. So yeah, just creating new stuff. So it's not boring. It's not boring for me. I like enjoy it. So if I'm doing the same thing again and again and again, it's like I've seen that a million times, and it's like, oh yeah, it's the same.
Yeah.
You're gonna get bored, right? But if I'm constantly adapting and changing and doing different things and using and playing around with different materials, it's more enjoyable for me, and the clients love it because it's like nobody else is providing them that service.
So how long have you been part of this business?
I'm the worst with dates and stuff, like 17, 18 years.
Okay.
19 years.
If you had to
17
go back 10 years,
Yeah.
15 years, what would you have done differently?
years.
Is there anything that you would approach differently?
It's a good question. What would I have done differently? I would have probably. I don't live with regrets, because I think like life is that way. Like,
Yeah.
the things are supposed to pan a certain way for you to get to where you are, and everything was kind of a setup for that position and for you to get to there. I would like to have listened to other people more, and taken their advice on board and dwelled on that a little bit better. I would have probably fast tracked processes in my life. Just taking advice from other people on board and absorbing that information better. I do it now, but I wish I started doing that years and years ago. You know, because people will say stuff, but it'll go in one ear and out the other. Like, you don't dwell on it, you don't think about it. But I've got to that stage now where I do think about what people say and I'll analyze it better. And like I said, it might not fit, but I at least give it the respect to think about it. Like, so if I have a friend come to me and say, Shaan, you know, I don't think you should do this business move. I'll go away and I think about it. So why did he say that?
Yeah, you've been more mindful of what he did.
Yeah, there's a reason why he must have said it. What's the reason behind it? I might still do that business move, once I've analysed it all properly and made my own judgments and own decisions.
But you take it on board.
But I'll take it on board. And there has been circumstances where people have said stuff and I've gone away with it and I've gone, yeah, you know what, he's probably right. Where before I would have probably just done something and then regretted it after, or thought, oh, it didn't really work out the way I wanted it to work out. Learn from it, move on. But like understanding that people out there can give you advice and take it on board. Like I said, necessarily might not fit. It might not be the right thing for you at that time, but think about it at least.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Give it some thought at least. Don't let it eat away at you, but give it some thought. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, probably listen to people's advice and taking that on board a little bit better.
So how would you? What is your next goals? Then is this something that you want to keep scaling up, keep growing?
Yeah. So my process right now is that, like I said, I want to be that guy where everybody, when they're thinking about fireplaces, I'm in that thought process. I'm getting a lot more involved in design aspects. So we're moving into, like, for example, we're doing this mad office right now for a client of ours. We're building the whole office from scratch.
Oh, is it?
So we're getting more involved into kind of different aspects of the house. Like, so clients are walking in saying to me, Shaan, we want you to handle the whole room. So I'm getting the decorating done. I'm getting like the lighting done.
What do you mean the whole room? Oh, so you guys are designing everything?
Yeah. So we
is that
only
like
do
a
for
new
certain
service
clients.
that you guys going to add on?
Yeah, so that's where I'm scaling up to now.
Oh,
so,
that's mad.
Like
interior design sort
like
of thing?
interior design to a certain degree, yeah. So clients will come in and say, like, Shaan, you know, I love what you did with that fireplace. Can't you like pull that?
It makes sense
because
if you've done a good job on this like wall, for example, and the design and aesthetics of it looks amazing, I'm sure you'd be able to do the same.
Yeah, so like we've done cinema rooms before, because we've got all the contacts as well. So through my whole networking process, I've got people from every kind of trades or work that I can pull off. So, you know, and then clients are turning around saying, like you just said, that you did an amazing job with that. Can you follow that through the rest of the room? So we've done like loads of rooms now and stuff. So that's going to be the next thing now. So we're going to start pushing that aspect. So we'll start bringing that out.
Would that be under a different sort of name though, or would it be still?
So basically, like the brand is Inspirational Fires. So like even like we're doing this YouTube thing, it's gonna be Inspirational Homes. So inspirational design. So we'll kind of just work off that whole inspirational aspect.
Inspirational is kind of like the brand, and then inspirational into different segments. So where did the name come from? Inspirational Fires?
I don't know. You know,
you don't know.
It's come up. Where it come from was just conversation. It's like I remember it was so random. Like, what should we call this place? And we was gonna name it something. It wasn't named something else first, to be fair. And then it was like, oh, we need to change the name. And it just conversation. Me and my brothers and.
Oh, so it was your guys' decision. So it wasn't. So when you guys joined the business, it was something else.
When my brother first opened it, he named it something else. So initially, we were going to name all the 4 stores the same. Okay.
Are the 4 stores different then?
All named differently.
Okay,
that was my marketing coming into it. I'll tell you what happened. So we had 4 stores. We was going to name them all the same. We did name 2 the same. And then what happened was we found, when I did a bit of research, was when people are looking for fireplaces or home stuff like that, what will happen is if you're spending 2, 3, 4, 5 grand at that time, say when we originally did it, you're going to visit 2 to 3 stores, right? You're going to walk into one store. What have you got? Let me have a look. How much is this? All right, thank you very much. Walk out, get a quote, walk into another store. So you go on Google and you type in fireplaces Birmingham. That's what was happening. So they'll go, all right, we'll go there, we'll go there, we'll go there.
And if you own all 3,
so now if I have all the showrooms named the same, they'll say we'll go to one of their branches and then we'll go to 2 other branches. So now my chances of getting that client have reduced. So now if I've got them all named differently, you get on Google and say, right, I'll go to that one, and I'll go to that one, and I'll go to that one. You might be walking into all my stores, and you don't even know.
That's smart.
Yeah.
You are your competition.
Yeah, basically. So it's funny because we can't catch loads of people out. Like people walk in, oh yeah, you know, I went to York Fireplaces, I went to Spirit Fireplaces, and they were giving me this fire for this much. I was like, yeah, that's cheap. How did they do that? And it's like, yeah, what can you do? I says, to be honest with you, I don't know how they've done that. Let me find out. And the faces change. I'm like, I'll be like, I'll talk to my brother. I said, like, yeah, do you have a client come in looking for this fire? Yeah. What price did you give them? 3 grand. They're saying to me, you gave 2.5 grand. I'm like, nah, I didn't. I gave them 3 grand. Put the phone down. I said, yeah, I just spoke to the guy that you spoke to in the other store. It's my brother. And he said that he gave you a price of 3 grand. And they're like, no, maybe I was confused with a different product, or maybe you could be right. Actually, you could be right. Like we catch loads of people out like that.
That's hilarious.
But that's why we did it.
That's
what
smart.
we did. We don't try to trick people. It's like the old 4 showrooms are set up differently. They all got different products. So as you go around, you see different things. So depending on what you want,
Okay, got it.
you know, it's different. So we try to do it that way. So we're not trying to trick people, but you know, they are. At that time, it was very locally based, so everybody had a catchment space because people don't people travel far, but they won't travel that far.
No, it makes sense. Yeah.
So hence the reason we did it that way, and it worked. So alhamdulillah, it made sense.
No,
So that's just marketing. It was just research. What works, what doesn't work. There's no point having 4 showrooms in one city, and then people just not going to them stores. Like
No, it actually makes sense, and I didn't really think about it like that. But then with these type of businesses, you're right. Obviously, people are going to be shopping. They're going to be shopping around looking for the best deals.
Especially with the independent retailers. So, for example, if you're going to buy a sofa, you might say, okay, I'm happy just to go to DFS or whatever, right? And you go buy a sofa. But most people will turn around and say, okay, I'll go to that place, I'll go to that place, go to that. I might see something else I like. And I have a price comparison as well. So when you got independent stores, what will happen is people walk in and be like, okay, it's not a big brand, it's not like B&Q or whatever, you know, so I want to travel and see what else is out there because other people might have different products and I just want to compare prices. This guy might be overcharging me, I have no idea, because nobody has any idea what a fireplace costs. Like, when's the last time you saw an advert for a fireplace on TV?
You're right, like
you don't?
There hasn't been.
Right, but if I asked you when's the last time you saw an advert for a sofa on TV, you'd probably ring off a few.
But saying that, if I was to go for a fireplace, I'd come to you purely because I know of you. Like, let's just say, even if we didn't do this podcast, same with Floor Street. If I needed a floor, I'd go to Floor Street purely because of social media presence.
Yeah.
You know
So this is it. So this is where it's changed now, where, especially like, for example, when I work with these celebrities, what's happening? I'm getting that stamp of approval from all these different people. So clients are looking, okay, if so and so trusted him, and we can tell probably spent a lot of money as well, and he's been able to fulfill it, and that person's still shouting him out and giving him love, then he must be half decent at what he does, and let me go and see.
Have you found the other effect though, that people think because he's dealing with these like celebrities and influencers, that he's going to be way too expensive for me? Have you ever had that?
You do, yes, you do. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you do.
Are you priced? Where are you priced? Are you quite competitive? Are you
very competitive. Yeah. Like, we're very competitive. Like, you can't, like, even if you go online, we'll match most prices. It's not an issue for us. We our buying power is so good. We got good rates on what we buy. So our prices are very competitive. We're not expensive.
Okay.
Compared to what's out there in the market.
Okay.
So you will get that service of a celebrity as such, the same price. Like, I won't charge a celebrity more or less than I would charge you. Do you get what I mean?
They just normally go for more because they can.
yeah, because they can, right? So it is whatever people's budgets are. So we work to people's budgets. So if someone said to me like, oh yeah, I'm looking at a fireplace, and I says, oh, that's 15 grand, and like, that's too much. It's not a problem. Like, I understand that. It's not. I don't expect everybody to spend an X amount of money. That's why we have such a massive range. I'm not trying to exclude anybody from what we do.
Have you felt like a living crisis? Like, we're going through a living crisis right now. Having a media wall, fire unit, and all these things, it seems as though you're going for people that have got maybe disposable income where they can afford these things. Since the living crisis, has that affected you guys? Or
nah, we basically, because we position ourselves a certain way where we're doing like a full range, where you can come and spend £300, or you can come in and spend, like, say, 20-30 grand, right? The range is there for you. So we haven't really felt that. But there's a lot of money flying around.
That's like, you're right.
There's a lot of money flying around. Like, there's a lot of people spending a lot of money. Like, if I go back and say, what's the average sale of a fireplace 10 years ago, it's probably £2,000. Like, the average sale of a fireplace, an average sale is £5,000 right now. So it has gone up.
It's gone up.
And we're doing a lot bigger jobs, a lot more. So, you know, it depends on how you position yourself and what you do and what the service you provide. So, like we will get sales like £10,000 plus all the time. So there's money out there. It's just whether or not you're positioned to provide that service.
Are you guys online? Like, do you guys have a website where people can...
We have a website. We don't really push online sales as much because a lot of our products is quite exclusive. So one, it's not designed to be on the internet for sale. You have to go into a showroom to purchase it.
So it's like a service more than like a
a service, but there's certain products that are protected. So like certain brands don't want to be sold online.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they don't want to devalue themselves. They don't.
So it's not like a off-the-shelf type of. They don't want to be known as. Yeah.
And what they're doing, because a lot of these brands, and these are the only brands that we tend to work with, is they're protecting the client, they're protecting the retailer, and they're protecting themselves. So, for example, like Apple. You go buy an Apple phone, right? You ain't gonna get it cheaper. You're gonna have to spend what it
Pay
is.
that much, yeah.
Pay what it is. They're protecting their brand. They don't want to devalue the brand.
Mm.
So they've basically strict on pricing. So that's what a lot of manufacturers do now, is they protect their brand, because if it goes online, it just goes crazy.
Yeah.
Like one person
and everyone's going to compete. Yeah.
Discounts. All of a sudden,
You price yourself out the industry. Yeah.
And then you mess up with the client. Like, you come into my store now and I say to you, this is $2,000. You go online and see it for £1,800.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. You're gonna say, oh, the guy's ripping me off, or he's doing X, Y, and Z. So we only deal with brands that are protected, and the reason for that is because those brands are much more secure in UK. So you'll get a better backup service. So these are the things that we focus on: backup service, warranties, service calls. What's going to happen to your fire in 10 years down the line? I don't have to do anything as a retailer, but is it set up with a manufacturer that's going to help you? Can we negotiate that for you? Can we get your fire back up?
Oh, so you guys deal with all that?
Yeah, we won't turn our back on anybody, even if it's 10, 15 years. If someone comes back to, I've had clients come back to me after 10 years and say, oh, Shaan, my fire's not working, can you help me out? And I'll help do whatever I can for them. Like, I won't like turn my back on them. I had this lady the other day, she bought an inset fire for us, 400 quid, 10 years ago. And her bulbs weren't working. I ordered some bulbs for her. I went and put them in for her. I went myself to her house, put them in for her, and she's like, "How much?" Oh, it's just bulbs. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna charge you for bulbs. You know what I mean? It's fine. It is. Your fire's back up already.
Fair enough,
and she's like, she's only gonna give me blessings, right?
Yeah.
I'll give you a quick example as well. Another guy. I remember another guy came in to me years and years and years ago. He came in. He goes, "I'm working on a house. The fire's not working. Can you help me out? I don't know what's going on with it. I don't know what to do with it. Don't know where to open it, etc." I says, "Where's the fire?" He goes, "In my van." I says, "Bring it inside." Brought it inside, opened it up, changed, it was bulbs, he didn't know how to get to them, changed the bulbs for him, boom, put it all together, plug the fire in, it's working. I go, "There you go, you're sorted." He's like, "How much?" Oh yeah. I said, "You don't owe me nothing." Like, he's like, no, I gotta pay you something, and you fixed the fire, you bought the bulbs. The bulbs are like £1, £2. Like, I'm gonna charge you. Do you understand? Not that like £1, £2, nothing, but like it is what it is. It's fine. Okay, it's okay. Just your prayers are enough. That's it. Just remember me. And he's like, he goes, "I'm not gonna forget this." I remember this guy, right? He goes, "I'm not gonna forget this. I'll be back to you to buy some products from other clients." This guy has now become one of the biggest builders in West Midlands, at least. Right, it's a massive company. He does major projects, like major projects. Most of the houses that we work on are over £1, £2, £3 million houses. He gives me about 100 grand of business every year for fireplaces. He'll purchase for these houses that he's working on for clients, etc. and stuff like that. Put me in touch with loads of different people, loads of high-end clients, and so forth. All because I helped him change some bulbs 10 years ago.
That's mad. A nice gesture goes a long way, isn't
it? Yeah. So that's it.
And it's not as if you've done it in return. You're just nice. You just thought.
Yeah, I just did it. I didn't expect nothing from it. Like, I didn't expect this guy's going to come and do 100 grand's worth of business for me in 10 years down the line.
But
like,
that small gesture turned into hundreds of thousands.
And that's 100 grand every year, just coming from him. Do you know what I mean? So, it's
That is mad.
It's crazy, but
that's what guys, just be nice to people out there.
it's true.
Nice, because people, there's that saying in it: nice guys finish last.
Yeah. But like, I've had this conversation. Like people say you gotta be ruthless in business. You gotta do that. That's fine. Like, you do what you gotta do. But like, for me, I can't be that way.
Yeah.
You know
it's
I mean?
not you.
I can't be that way. If it meant that I wasn't gonna be successful, do nothing with it, is what it is. Like, but I can't be that way. But for me, it's worked.
Yeah.
But for me, it works for me. Like, alhamdulillah, every client that I deal with and so forth, and I have a good relationship with them. Like, I can't say genuinely hand on my heart that there's one person that would be really upset with me through business that I've done with them. Not one person that would turn around and say,
and that's after what? How many years of business?
Like, it's been about 17, 18 years at least now. So I genuinely can't think of one person. Yes, I've had ups and downs. Yes, I've messed something up, and yes, it's gone wrong.
That's just human nature. That's just.
But
life,
I fixed it. Do you get what I mean? I've done what I've had to do to get it sorted. If it's cost me money, like if I've messed something up for somebody and it's cost me £1,000, £2,000 to get it rectified, so I've done it. I've got it sorted for them in the end. Yeah, it might have taken longer than what they would have hoped for. Yes, they had a bit of stress to the whole process. But at the end of it, I can meet them anyway on the street and they'll be happy to see me. I'll be happy to see them. Like, I've got nobody.
That's hard to say,
I've got nobody I can think of that would turn around and say, "Oh, Shaan done me over. Shaan did this."
Fair play. I believe that though.
Inshallah, I would hope that's the case. I would like to think that's the case. I can't think of anybody that I would turn around and say, "Oh yeah, you know what?
That you left things on.
I fell out with him."
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? I fell out with him. I don't think I have anybody like that.
No, that's crazy,
So,
man. That's crazy. Well, I could definitely see, mashallah, why you guys are doing so well. Very genuine person, man, mashallah. May Allah keep increasing your, may Allah increase your risk, and may Allah increase your
likewise. The
business.
was with you. The was with you always.
Bro. If you weren't doing this, if you didn't join the family business, I know you said you graduated in marketing, but you reckon you would have went into a job, or do you reckon the hustle's always been within you?
I've always had it. Like I said, with the park pens, the Walkmans, I've always had this thing.
What would you have gone into, you reckon?
I don't know. Like, that's like going into the past and trying to work out what you'd have done, right? I would have done something.
You would have done something.
I would have done something. I would have probably got into a job and thought, this maybe is not for me. And
has there been times where you thought, you know what, maybe I'll want to start something else, or...
I always get ideas. I'm always doing different things. Like, I'm always playing around with stuff. Like, I'm trying different stuff. So I always do stuff on the sideline. Like, I can't just not do anything, right? So I'm always doing other stuff. Like, like I've got other little businesses that I do, etc., and I'll just do it as like kind of like a side hustle kind of thing. So I'm always doing other stuff. If I've got the time and I've got the motivation to do it, I'll do it. I'm always doing stuff. Like, there's always stuff I'm doing.
I think that's with every entrepreneur, business guy. Like, we can't just sit still in it. There's always has to be something that you're working towards, or you're trying out. But I think that's the beauty of it, because if you don't try, you're not going to learn.
Of course,
Like, if I didn't try this podcast, I wouldn't have learned. I wouldn't have met so many amazing people. I wouldn't have been in so many situations that I would never have normally been in. Do you know what I mean? But I think you got to try in it. You got to try.
You can't give up on stuff. You got to keep trying stuff. So like, I'll always do something. Like, people come with new ideas. Like, let's do it. Like, I like the idea. Let's make it work. Let's do something. I'm always getting involved with stuff. I'll never like sit still. So that's why I say, even if I went into a job, I feel as though like things would have come about and somebody would have said, Shaan, let's try this. And I'd be like, that's a good idea, let's try it. And then I would have fallen into something. So, like, you know what I mean? I've always been a hustler. I've always been that way. Do you know what I mean? I'll always try to turn situations and do what I can.
Brother, this has been such an amazing conversation. I learned so much. I'm inspired myself right now.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you saying kind words.
Thanks again for coming down. If people want to reach out to you,
Instagram's probably the best place right now. So just at Inspirational Fires. So you can reach out on there. Like I said, we've got our showrooms, etc. But if you want to get in contact in any way, shape or form, Inspirational Fires is probably the best place to do it right now.
Perfect. And guys, if you've enjoyed this conversation, if you enjoyed this episode, then please hit the like button and make sure to subscribe. And until then, we'll see you on the next one. Peace.